going on, freaks? How's it going? All right. Well, there's some warrants, like 16 more warrants out there, and then there's also these articles that people put out in the Charlie Kirk case that are just, it's just so, these people are crazy, you know. I mean, even journalists, you know, quote journalists. It's pretty wild. Hey, thanks, Richard Watts. Appreciate it. Yeah, and if you're watching the show and you want to help support the channel, that'd be awesome. We've had 2 really, really poor days recently, and it looks like we're heading towards that same type of show today with only 46 people watching right out of the chute. All right, let's see. Again, there's also the ATF report came out that has the you know, the information about the bullet. All right, so let's but first, well, let's do that first. Why not? See what we can come up with. Just looking at it, I haven't even looked at it yet. All right, so this is the ATF report, and it was, you know, it was created all the way back on September 17th, 2005. It says lab number, agency number. It says number one Mauser model 98 30-06 Springfield caliber rifle bearing serial number 8863 with an optical accessory or a scope. 2, 1 Springfield caliber cartridge case. And then it has 3 more, Springfield caliber cartridge, and then 1 bullet jacket fragment and 4 lead fragments designated 6A through 6E. So just a bunch of fragments and a fragment. It says jacket fragment. I'm not sure when it says bullet. What's the difference between? Let's see, the bullet, let's see. Let's see. A bullet jacket is a metal sheath, usually copper alloy or encasing a soft lead core to reduce barrel fouling and control expansion. It enables higher velocities without leaving lead residue. I see. So that's not the bullet itself. I mean, the shell casing. It's like a part of the projectile. Okay, I guess that makes sense. So they found a fragment of that, and then also 4 lead fragments. Thanks, Wild Bill Wassman. Results of examination. This report refers to exhibits by lab number. The following results only apply to the items tested. The Exhibit 1 rifle was test fired and found to be in operable condition. The test fires were designated as Exhibit 1.11. Exhibit 2 consists of 1 30-06 Springfield caliber fired cartridge case bearing Remington head stamp. The Exhibit 2 cartridge case was identified as having been fired in Exhibit 1 rifle. Let's see, Exhibit 2 consists of 1 fired cartridge case bearing Remington head stamp. The Exhibit 2 cartridge was identified as having been fired in the Exhibit 1 rifle. So the cartridge itself was fired from that rifle. Exhibit 3 through 5 consist of 3 30-06 Springfield caliber unfired cartridges, each bearing a Remington head stamp. So the one that was fired matches the 3 that were in there. And the cartridge that was found in the gun was fired from that gun, from the suspect gun. Let's see, it looks like my face is in the way over here. I guess I could just put it over here a little bit smaller. But hey guys, I need your guys' support on the channel tonight. We've just had 2 just horrendous days out of 3, and even on the second days we donated $500. So I'm actually still negative, well, on all 3 of those days. Normally you have the rest of the days are okay, where you're starting moving forward again. But we had a day of $27 and a day of $70. That's just like ludicrous in our standards for what we do on this show. So if you guys are out there and you have the ability to help support the channel, I would appreciate it. Let's see, results of examination. This report refers to exhibits by lab number. The following results only apply to the items tested. The Exhibit 1 rifle was tested, fired, and found to be operable condition. The test fires were designated as Exhibit 1.11. Exhibit 2 consists of 1 Springfield caliber fired cartridge case bearing a Remington head stamp. The Exhibit 2 cartridge, we just went over this, was identified as having been fired in the Exhibit 1 rifle. So, you know, the one that was, the casing was still there and had the wording on it. I think it said like, you know, had the UVU on it or something like that. That one was determined to be fired from this particular rifle, and there's no bullet left in it, right? So it's been fired. And then Exhibit 3 through 5 are the unspent cartridges. There were, you know, 3 of them in there that also had writing on them. The Exhibit 2 cartridge case and Exhibit 3 through 5 cartridges were examined for the presence of comparable tool marks. Tool marks were located on the exterior of the Exhibit 2 cartridge case and Exhibit 3 cartridges that are consistent with being produced by engraving and or rotary cutting tips commonly found, let's see, installed in handheld rotary tools such as a Dremel tool. These tool marks contain marks of value for comparison if a suspect tool is located. Exhibit 6 consists of 1 .30 caliber class deformed damaged bullet jacket fragment designated 6A and 4 lead fragments designated 6B through 6E. You know, so there's just 4 fragments of a bullet that they recovered in the autopsy of Charlie Kirk. The Exhibit 6A bullet jacket fragment could not be identified or excluded as having been fired from the Exhibit 1 rifle. But see, that's just all it says. See how the news said, the bullet doesn't match? You know, this says, Exhibit 6A bullet jacket fragment could not be identified or excluded as having been fired from the Exhibit 1 rifle based on an agreement of all discernible class characteristics and neither sufficient agreement nor sufficient disagreement of individual characteristics. The result of the comparison was inconclusive. So it's inconclusive because the bullet was fragmented so severely. They just couldn't do it. Firearms that produce general rifling characteristics similar to those observed on Exhibit 6A bullet jacket fragment include numerous makes and models. The Exhibit 6B through 6E lead fragments are not suitable for microscopic comparison. See, there you go. Look at those fragments. It says right here, the 6B through 6E lead fragments are not suitable for microscopic comparison. let's see, and it says, these conclusions confirm with the relevant Department of Justice policy on uniform language for testimony and reports available. The following techniques were used in the examination of one or more of the exhibits described above: microscopic comparison, visual physical examination, and product make model determination. And it seemed like there was something at the end here. Thanks, Alley Cake and Wild Bill Wassman. Yeah. Another one of these, huh? An examiner may provide any of the following conclusions. These descriptions are meant to provide context. The conclusion reached in the report, not every type of conclusion may be represented or applicable in every case. Source identification is an examiner's conclusion. I guess they're just going over some terms. I don't really care about that. All right. Anyways, so there you go. That's exactly what we already said, was that they just weren't able to make a direct comparison because the bullet was so fragmented. And yet they have a shell casing that, the bullet was fired from that gun, found in the woods, exactly where the person who jumped off the roof put the rifle. You see? It's crazy. All right, and then I was looking at these. There's these articles that were put out here. Like this person right here, this Marine Chachik, or whatever the hell her name is, from the American prospect.org. And I sent her a letter. I go, you need to retract this thing. This is absolute garbage. And she's like, what do you mean? I mean, she's just a total, one of those conspiracy nutter, Candace Owens, Baron Coleman types. They just absolutely, you could just tell in her response to my email that I sent her. It's ridiculous. All right, guys, any chance you guys could help support the channel tonight? Okay, we need some challenges. We had 0 challenges yesterday. It'd be great to have multiple ones tonight so we can get back on reaching the goal. This is the halfway mark of the month, and we've just really collapsed in the last 3 days. So if you guys have the ability, that would be great. Thank you. Well, they are conspiracy nutters. What else are they? I mean, what are you going to call them? On the evening of September 11th, 2025, a user called Zealous Monkey 55095 told the members of one of his Discord chats that he had bad news. It was me at UVU yesterday. I'm sorry for all this. I'm surrendering through a sheriff friend in a few moments. Thanks for all the good times and laughs. You've all been so amazing. Thank you all for everything. Exactly 5 minutes later, at 8:02 p.m., former Washington County Sheriff Nate Brooksby. Okay, so they're saying that. Yeah, see, this person doesn't even have the right time here. It's 8:57, but even if you want to say 7:57, okay, great. Exactly 5 minutes later, at 8:02 p.m., former Washington County Sheriff Nate Brooksby recalled a few days later in a press conference he received a phone call from an old colleague, a former Washington County deputy sheriff. His voice is kind of shaky, so my first thought is, who died? Brooksby said. He says, hey, I know who Charlie Kirk's shooter is. I know the family through a religious association. He is in Washington County now, and we're working on trying to get him to come in voluntarily. The call lasted all of 1 minute and 41 seconds, and as soon as he hung up, Brooksby called Utah County Sheriff Mike Smith, who was just as shocked as I was, and with whom he had even a shorter conversation lasting 40 seconds. I said, I trust this guy who called me with my life And I think it's time to get your people... What do you mean? I can trust this guy who called me with my life. What the hell does that even mean? Like, it's not a quote. To get your people, the lead investigator headed to Washington County. Tyler Robinson surrendered within the hour, Brooksby said, arriving just before 9 p.m. That's not how it went. An inmate booking sheet obtained and posted the next day by right-wing YouTuber Steven Crowder states that he was arrested at 7 p.m. on September 11th at an unspecified location outside of Utah County by Brian Davis, an official with the State Bureau of Investigation, and booked him into the county jail at 1:58 a.m. I don't even know if this person just seems to be randomly typing stuff. It's just, see right here, you have at 8:04, or you can even go up here. At 8:02, I have it right here in my, a timeline that I've put together, all right? This is the reality here. Alley Cake said, how does NASA organize a party? They plan it. Bada bing! All right, thank you. I do live streams, Marty. I do videos when I feel like doing videos. Right here it says 8:02, Mike Mitchell, a former deputy, contacted Sheriff Brooksby. Mitchell explained that he'd received a phone call from the father of Tyler Robinson. Mike Mitchell explained that Tyler Robinson confessed to his father that he was the shooter at Utah Valley University. That's 8:02 p.m. So even if it was 7:47 when the that text message was sent, that was before, that's before this call was even made to let anybody know, he's out there, right? That's the whole thing. And if it's at 8:57, which I have, when he sent that text, it still doesn't matter because, okay, let me just keep going here. So 8:04, Sheriff Smith, who Mike Mitchell called, so Sheriff Smith is with the Utah County Sheriff's Office, received a phone call at approximately 10:04, or 8:04, excuse me, hours from Sheriff Brooksby with the Washington County Sheriff's Office. So Sheriff Smith actually, Sheriff Smith was called by, I think it was what's the hell's that guy's name? Brooksby, right? So Brooksby called Sheriff Smith in Utah County. All right, so what happened here is Mike Mitchell, a former deputy, whatever hell you want to call him, investigator in Washington County, where Tyler Robinson lives, and turned himself in. He called to tell Bigsby, who's the sheriff in Washington County, and said, "Hey, we've got this Brooksby. Hey, we've got this guy. Here he is." And then immediately, Brooksby called the county where Charlie Kirk was killed, in the Utah County, and talked to Sheriff Smith in Utah County at 8:04. Doesn't that make sense? And so then it was, according to Sheriff Brooksby, he had received a phone call from a former deputy who had previously been employed with the Sheriff's Office. The former deputy, identified as Mike Mitchell, explained that he received a phone call from the father of Tyler Robinson. Mike Mitchell explained that Tyler Robinson confessed to his father that he was the shooter at the Charlie Kirk event at UVU. And then right here, and then 8:57, there's a Discord message. So it could even be 7:57. It's irrelevant now if it's 7:57 or 8:57. It says, "Hey guys, I have bad news for you all. It was me at UVU yesterday. I'm sorry for all this. I'm surrendering through a sheriff's friend in a few moments." And see, that's why this makes more sense that it's actually 8:57. Thank you for all the good times and laughs. You've all been so amazing. Thank you for everything. So that's 8:57. So let's say, then the sheriff gets there at, 9:15, 9:30. They make their way over there, and then it says, at 10:26, Tyler Robinson arrives at the Washington County Sheriff's Office, accompanied by his parents. Okay, that's the time, 10:26. Thanks, Wild Bill Wasserman. How about the rest of you guys? Could you guys please help support the channel tonight? I hate having to ask all the time. Other channels just seem to get the support. I'm relegated to asking. But I need your guys' support. Maybe put in some, comments in your super chats. We need a couple challenges going. Gifted channel memberships, etc. All right? We're absolutely limping along right now. And we have a lot of stuff that we do on this channel. We have a scholarship fund. We have a DNA fund that we fund. We have charities that we send money to, etc. And the only way that happens is if you guys are supporting the channel, and I take part of the ad revenue, the super chats, all the stuff that you guys send in. It just feels like I'm, it's falling on deaf ears when I'm saying this. It's just like I'll say, hey guys, and not a soul shows up. It's always the same, it's incredibly generous by Wild Bill Wasserman, etc. But it's like they just always have to, they're the ones that keep supporting, and it needs to be like more democratic, where the rest of you guys are helping support the channel to keep the channel alive so we can do the stuff that we're doing. All right, this channel survives because of you. If you're not supporting, we don't survive. Do you get it? You got one of the few channels that actually puts out the real information. All right, we got one from Tracy Von Brott, who said, what do you call an alligator detective? An investigator. You get it? Thank you. All right, so if we can get some gifted channel memberships, maybe somebody can do a 5 for $5. We need about 6 of those tonight. Maybe we'll get somewhere. Okay, is this making sense to you guys, though? I mean, this is... I went through all this stuff and put this together here, right? So 10:26, Tyler Robinson arrived at the Washington County Sheriff's Office, accompanied by his parents. That's when he got there. So at 8:57, when he says, it's going to be soon, that's sooner, like at 7:57. That would be kind of weird to say that when it's like 2.5 hours later. So, but either way, 7:57 and 8:57 are before 10:26 when he's brought in to the Washington County Sheriff's Office. What's weird about this case is I've never seen a case where people are so concerned about sort of the procedural timing of just sort of these things. It's just like, because everybody's trying to make it seem like it's a conspiracy. Huh? Who are you talking to, Alley Cake? Oh, Marty has a challenge in here? I didn't even see it. You guys didn't... Oh, there it is up there. Oh, there it is. Marty's Bar and Grill has a challenge. So we need... let's see. After he said that, we had 1, 2, 3... I guess that counts too. Jim Long. So that's 7. We need 3 more of those. All right. So 3 gifted memberships will get us to the number. Doesn't have to be gifted memberships, just $5 worth of... That's right. Hey, thanks, Marty's Bar and Grill. And by the way, everybody put out those positive vibes for Marty and prayers, whatever you guys want to do. Or his upcoming surgery in the morning. I'm going to give him a call sometime early afternoon, see how he's doing. Okay, but you guys, we need 3 more gifted memberships. All right, so that was at 10:26. And then at 1 a.m., FBI Special Agent Lang, let's see. There it is. Conducted an interview with the boyfriend of Tyler Robinson, at the Washington County Sheriff's Office. So literally, Tyler Robinson and Twiggs were in the same building for a little bit of time there. The boyfriend was identified as Lance Twiggs. During the interview, Lance showed investigators text messages between Tyler Robinson and Twiggs, you know. And then right here at 1:58 a.m., so it's 58 minutes later. So after talking with Twiggs, and even during that time, they're just building the probable cause here. Tyler Robinson at 1:58 a.m. on the 12th. So he came in at 10:26. 1 a.m. Twiggs is brought in. He has information. They take photographs of the text messages, and then that's what they use later in the probable cause document. And then at 1:58 a.m. on the 12th, right? Tyler Robinson was formally arrested by Utah County Sheriff while in custody in Washington County. So he's down south in Washington County, and he is, and then he's arrested formally at 1:58. And then sometime after that, he's driven all the way to Utah County, and then at 7:58 in the morning, he's booked by the Utah County Administrative Process Recording. You know, I looked it up what it meant. So he's booked by Utah County, and this is the administrative process of recording the arrest, photographing, and fingerprinting the suspect at a police station. All right. Then at 8:14 a.m., they have him marked down. He's in custody still. And then at 6:25 p.m., that's when, like if you look at the document, it says in the evening that the arrest was made. And so that means the arrest was made, the formal arrest was made at 1:58 a.m. So later in the evening at 6:26 p.m. on the 12th, that is when they asked Tyler Robinson some questions. He didn't really want to answer anything. He wanted to have a lawyer, etc. And they did do a, what do you call it? They Mirandized him. Okay, because they do that. They Mirandize you multiple times. All right, so do we do it? 7, 8, 9. I think we need one more gifted membership. I think we need one more. But does that all make sense to you guys? Unfortunately, the people that need to see this don't watch because their cult leaders never will allow them, like they convince them that they don't want to see the reality. Let me close this thing down over here. Okay, who's going to do it, you guys? We need one more to reach Marty's goal, or challenge, and then we need to do more because this is just, man. All right, so hopefully that makes sense. I think it makes complete logical sense, what I just showed you, and those are all in the documents. All right, now if you go back to this person here, this lunatic, they said the call lasted all for 41 seconds. Right, that's the first call, then the second call, then the second call he called Utah County, remember? And it says Tyler Robinson surrendered within the hour. Brooksby said arriving just before 9 p.m. Yeah, and that part there isn't accurate. Okay, I mean, I guess it's possibly accurate. If he got there just before 9 p.m., then maybe Tyler had just texted because he said just a few minutes. And then when Brooksby got there, maybe they sat there for a while and then drove him to the station, and he got there around 10:20 something. All right, so that kind of makes sense. Hey, thanks, Stephen Connerly. And there's Tony Morrow. Yeah, no problem. It says, but a flurry of court filings and Robinson heretofore liberally sealed and redacted murder case launched something like a public unraveling of the official timeline last week. First, a Republican lobbyist turned YouTuber noticed a bombshell on page 70 of a 258-page motion filed by Robinson's defense team on March 30th. Let's see what's on that page. Yeah, these people, I mean, it's... All right, so that is the, I think that's the Burkhart, yeah. Charlie Kirk. Burkhart, 30, right there. And they're saying page 70, right? Maybe it's page 70 on here. Oh, there it is. Okay. But if you look here, which they never seem to point out, it says at something indicates that on the evening of his arrest, Tyler Robinson declined to be interviewed, and they start having these time frames. 6:25 p.m., 6:25, and then 6:26, 6:26. And they keep saying this is on the 11th. But that doesn't even make sense at all, by anything, by any standards at all. So instead of these guys just having brains that function and say, hey, you know what? The night of his arrest, let's see what time the arrest was. Oh, that's right. The official time of his arrest was on the 12th at 1:58 a.m. Okay. So the evening of that date is 6:26 on the 12th p.m. Oh, I see. Okay. See, that's how it should be. But these people's brains don't work like that, because as soon as, oh my God, this contradicts everything, everybody. This is crazy. This is absolutely nuts. Take it out, everybody. You know, it's just, it's sick, right? You guys even know what I'm saying? You guys don't seem to be, like, engaged. Anybody there? Let's see. Tyler Robinson surrendered within the hour, Brooksby said, arriving just before 9 p.m. Then down below it says, but then a bunch of documents came out. And it says on page 70 of a 258 motion filed by Robinson's defense team on March 30th in the form of a transcript recorded on the evening of his arrest, in which an unnamed law enforcement officer read Robinson his Miranda rights between 6:25 and 6:26 p.m. And the accused assassin replied that he desired to first speak to an attorney named Doug Terry. The timestamps conflict with the endlessly repeated detail that Robinson was apprehended at 10 p.m. following a 33-hour... No, it doesn't. It doesn't conflict that at all. See, how can this be a serious journalist here? This is stupid. It's 10:26, right? Tyler Robinson arrives at the Washington County... I mean, you guys probably can't see it very good, but let me make it bigger. And yeah. I'll do 200. Look at this. At 10:26, Tyler Robinson arrived. That's after Bixby went and got him. Maybe he got to his house right around 9:10, and they sat around for a few minutes. And then he was taken to the station, and that's when he arrived. Tyler Robinson arrived at the Washington County Sheriff's Office at 10:26. All right? He hasn't formally been arrested yet. Then at 1 a.m., they bring Twiggs in, and they ask him a bunch of questions, and they get more information verifying what Tyler Robinson has done. Look at these text messages. Then at 1:58, Tyler Robinson was formally arrested by Utah County. So when they brought him in at 10:26, the guy's up in, probably right around this time frame. At 8:04, they started driving down to Utah County, I would imagine. You know, right after that phone call, they got the hell out of there. You know, this Sheriff Smith took off, right? Then, you know, again, twigs at 1. Then at 1:58, Tyler Robinson was formally arrested by Utah County Sheriff. So that is, Sheriff Smith drove all the way down there and formally arrested Tyler Robinson in Washington County, even though he's from Utah County. All right. Then, after a certain amount of time, Sheriff Smith, you know, maybe hung out there for a couple hours, drove him back to Utah County, up north, and at 7:58 in the morning, Tyler Robinson was booked, you know, fingerprinted, all those types of things, in the Utah County jail where the case resides, okay? Doesn't this just, like, completely make sense to you? Like, it's just so clear and obvious. There isn't anything that just doesn't make sense. Right? And then it said in that, what we were just reading a second ago, it says right here, that Tyler Robinson, right here, at page 20, indicates that on the evening of his arrest, so that means at like right around 2 in the morning, he was officially arrested. And then way later in the day, at 6:25 p.m., literally 14 and a half hours later, they interviewed him. And he declined to, you know, and it's, I guess he was Mirandized here. But they Mirandize you pretty much every time you talk to, like, you're going to ask somebody a question in jail, unless it's like a continual moment in time. But if you move them somewhere and then some new person sits down, you're going to get Mirandized again. That's what's happening here. And it's so obvious, and it's weird that a reporter would be so careless and come up with this whole thing. And then when I sent her an email, her response was like, "What do you mean? No way, man." And then she started bringing up stuff that is absolutely irrelevant to what I was telling her. So that's when you know, okay. All right, Wild Bill's trying for a wave, you guys. See if we can get some more support on the channel tonight. We're not going to be able to make up for the 2 days. Or we almost made up for the 1 day, but then yesterday was another catastrophe. Because I dared do a show earlier, and so we're going to have to see if we can help get the support for the channel up. We need a couple, maybe 2, 3 or 4 more challenges. We might get there. All right, right down here it says the timestamps conflict with the endlessly repeated detail that Robinson was apprehended at 10 p.m. following a 33-hour manhunt. A number Patel in particular seems to love referencing. A number Patel seems to love referencing. More importantly, they suggest Robinson had been in police custody for at least an hour and a half at the time of the alleged group chat. No, he wasn't. See, even your information doesn't say that. Because you thought it was at 7:57, and if the phone call was at 8:00, I see what you're saying. Yeah. See, now this lady is completely changing the narrative, saying, look, he's being interviewed at 6:26 p.m. on the day he was arrested, so that means the whole narrative that at 8:04 this phone call came in, that's all bogus, man, because he was already in there and he was arrested. No, that's because you're not using common sense, for God's sakes. Where do these people come from? I mean, if I had a journalist, you know, with quotes around it that wrote this, I'd fire them in 5 seconds. I just think this stuff is sick. This is why we have so many problems in our country, is because there's people like this that don't give two shits about what the truth and reality is, and they want to be popular and cool, and they know that people like Candace and Barron and all the other wackos out there, that they believe in this kind of stuff. All right? And that'll get the views, and it's just not cool, you know? All right, say Wild Bill went for a wave, and we get the same people again. So if we can get some other people to help support the channel, that would be fantastic. Robinson's defense attorney did not note or puzzle over the discrepancy. Right. That's because there's nothing puzzling about it. Your brain misinterpreted the information. The last Friday morning, Washington County Deputy Attorney Courtney Sinagra phoned the prospect to say she had an explanation. The evening of Robinson's arrest was actually September 12th. Oh, okay, this is where that lady... That's funny. The day after the early documentation had initially reported, because Sinagra said the alleged assassin was never actually arrested in Washington County. Right. I have it documented. He wasn't formally arrested until like 150, what is that? 158. This conflicts with essentially everything we were told on September 12th. No, it doesn't. It doesn't conflict with anything. All right? You just want it to conflict with that. Yeah, that's just crazy. Man, unbelievable. Let's see. It says, this conflicts with essentially everything we were told on September 12th, as well as the defense brief reference to Robinson's surrender as having occurred on September 11th. It did. It did occur on September 11th. It did. See, this is what this person doesn't understand anything. It says right here, let's go back up here. The evening Robinson arrest was actually the 12th. That's right, because it was 1:58 in the morning. The day after the early documentation had initially reported, because Sinagra said the alleged assassin was never actually arrested in Washington County, but nearly 4 hours north in Provo, by which point it was well past midnight. This conflicts with essentially everything we were told on September 12th, as well as the defense brief reference to Robinson's surrender. Now, that one part that was in there is a little different than what I have right, let's see. Yeah, Tyler is formally arrested by Utah County Sheriff, but he was still in custody in Washington County. So whatever she's quoting there has a little error in it too. You know, he wasn't arrested up in Provo. He was arrested in Washington County at Washington County at 1:58. Thank you, Tracy Von Brott. It is true that subsequent police documents place Robinson's time and date of arrest at 4 a.m. on September 12th, but it wasn't. It was 1:58. Most likely because of a quirk of Utah criminal code governing the treatment of arrests that occur before a judicial warrant has been produced. In any case, the Washington County Deputy Attorney now claims those initial reports were inaccurate and that Robinson was not officially arrested until he was transported to Utah County, so I guess, it's possible then in this one at 10:26 he arrived and then almost, how long does it take, by the way? Let's just see. Hold on. What town was that he lived in down there? Wasn't it like George? What is it? St. George. All right. Provo, Utah to St. George, Utah. What happened? Guess it didn't work. Yeah, definitely need another challenge of some sort, you guys. I just want to have a night where I don't need to do this. I just want you guys to realize what's at stake. We do a lot of great things here, and we're just not going to be able to do it. I'm at a point right now where I'm almost at my max. Like right now, if we just keep doing this, the 500 I've already donated is it. And that's just ridiculous compared to what we've always done. So I need the support from the people watching the show to help keep us moving forward. My channel's donated $293,000 since January of 2020, and that's why I push so hard so that we can keep doing that as well as survive as a YouTube channel. And maybe it's not the greatest model in the world, but all I know is I do my shows every single night. I do the shows, you guys support the channel, and that's how it's been. So if you could please consider doing that, I would appreciate it. Without having me have to ask another 17 times. Utah Valley University to St. George, Utah. How come it doesn't do it? Thank you, Sandy Shirley. Let's see. Utah Valley University to St. George, Utah. Yeah, it's 3 hours and 40 minutes. That's a, that's a pretty. So now let's take a look at this again. So Tyler Robinson arrives at the station. So if we go 3 hours and something minutes later, that's already, 2 hours plus an hour 30, so that'd be 3:34. And what does this say? That says 3 hours and 40 minutes. So, that'd be like, they get there, he gets in the car, and they drive away. So I think it's accurate what I was saying before. I think somebody has the wrong information. If we go back to let me go Charlie Kirk, probable cause document. Not sure if it's in this one. It might be. Let me go to the, right here. So his arrest date is 9/12. And then it says like 4 a.m. on the 12th. And then it says booked, so he's booked in at 7:58. And I have that. Hey, thanks. Got a flight. So who's going to do a challenge in here for me? All right, right here. Arrest date. So this is like, but it's not formal. They bring him in at around 10:30. And then that agency is other, it says there. So I'm not really sure what that stands for. But the officer is Davis here. And then this says arrested location, agency, arrested location outside of Utah County. So... yeah, the thing is there is stuff on here, but when you read through the documents, you're able to put it in order correctly. But right here it says date in, and that is the date in is the 1:58 time, and it does say outside of Utah County. So I'm wondering if that's interesting. Not interesting, but I'm just I'm not like oh my God, it doesn't make sense. It's 1:58 a.m. and then it says outside the county, so that means it's outside of Washington County. That means it likely is in Utah County, and that's at 1:58. So, when you have the drive times in here, at 3 hours and some odd minutes. It also matters what time of day, you know. So you could be, if you're driving quicker, especially if you're a police force, you can drive quicker, get there 15 minutes or 20 minutes, even 30 quicker than it says, and then you officially arrest him in the Utah County. See how it's 158 right there, and it's not in Washington County, and it says 10 o'clock is when he was, you know, unofficially arrested, like, you know, brought into custody at 10 o'clock on the 11th, which matches up with the 10:26 there. But then it says that at 1:58, which is 2 hours, 3 hours, and 34 minutes later, he was formally arrested, and I guess it is in, you know, maybe it is in Utah County. But either way, that's when Utah officials formally arrested Tyler Robinson. Okay, there you go. Let's see. As this person just emailed me, the writer of this article wrote me back and says, "Now I'm starting to suspect you're just stupid." After I absolutely showed her that she's incorrect on that time frame, and she just doesn't want to admit it. I just said, I wrote her back and said, "You're an embarrassment to your profession." God, these people are just freaking nuts, you know? Oh, man. Jeez. Alright, guys, if you could please help support the channel. Here I am again. Right now we're at 35% of just a normal night, which was normal 3 nights ago, and then fell off a cliff. Then we had one night after we donated 500, and then the next night, another horrible night again. So if you guys could please help support the channel, keep us rolling along, that would be great. Yeah. All right. Anyways, this reporter is an absolute imbecile. I don't know what her brain. She thinks she's so clever, coming up with, oh, hey, blah 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 blah, and it's just all over the place, you know. The defense team's rationale by simply, yeah, I'm not even going to read the rest of it. It's a complete waste of time. I know, but I also need to have, the channel needs to survive by making an income too, Lucy. That's how it works. So when you guys aren't supporting the channel doesn't even do well. You know, it's like we're just, you know, it's crazy. You know, I don't understand, you know, why other people who put out absolute garbage get supported, and when you put out factual information, oh yeah, forget it. Yeah, it's just not as exciting. I'll give you $2. I'll give you $3. Yeah, screw you. You know, it's just weird, you know. But if it's some conspiratorial guy, oh my God, you're willing to, you know, and these people don't even do anything other than help themselves. We have made a huge difference out there. That's why it's frustrating. You know, this is the channel that should have 3,000 people watching and should be doing well, but it isn't. It just sucks, you know. I don't know what to tell you. All right. There's a whole bunch of new... Oh, yeah. Well, there was one more article that another person put out. I don't know what it means, but... Let's see. By the St. George News. I don't think I can read it, though. Maybe if I put it into Firefox, I might be able to. It looks sort of like it came in there. Newly unsealed search warrants in the fatal shooting of political activist Charlie Kirk show investigators initially identified a second unidentified man seen near the scene and later at a hospital as a potential suspect. Within hours, authorities determined he was not the shooter, but described him as likely connected to the case. The man was described in court documents as wearing a dark suit, sunglasses, and a prosthetic arm. I mean, sounds like The Fugitive, the movie, right? He was seen near Utah Valley University around the time of September 10th shooting, and later an Intermountain Health Utah Valley Hospital asking about Kirk, who had been taken to Timpanogos Regional Hospital. According to the warrants, those circumstances were considered suspicious enough to justify the collection of surveillance footage from Utah Valley Hospital. Yeah. Because he had a prosthetic arm, that's why. Yeah, maybe I do suck, you know. I'm starting to wonder, you know. Obviously, you know, because I don't know, man. If you guys want me to start selling conspiracies, I'll do it if I need to survive, you know. No, I won't. Thanks, Wild Bill. Yeah, just... All right, I got a whole bunch of these. There's 16 of them. New warrants out there. Let's see what they say. It doesn't. They don't care, LK. Don't worry about it. It's like, you know, I can sit there and tell people 100 times, and they're like, yeah. So here's one that says, you know, they do the same part up above where it talks about, you know, the same background information, but then down here it said, proof by affiant made upon oath or written affirmation subscribed under criminal penalty of the state of Utah having been made to me by investigator Justin Bowen of State Bureau of Investigation. This day I am satisfied that there is probable cause to believe that on items described as an iPhone 14 with a serial number, the phone is in a clear case made by OtterBox with a cracked screen. In the city of St. So that's probably either Tyler's or Twig's phone. In the city of St. George, County of Washington, State of Utah, there is now certain property or evidence described as your affiant is requesting to search and seize the cell phone as identified in the affidavit for electronically stored information, including information related to incoming and outgoing calls, missed calls, and the dates and times recorded for such calls. contact directory information, subject account information, as well as account information for third-party applications, voice messages, text messages, multimedia messages, digital photographs, video files, any video or audio recordings, downloads or copies, all GPS mapping and coordinates, including historically archived information, GPS information to include location data from third-party applications. I mean, that'd be interesting if, that's probably Tyler's phone, if shows where he was that day. Yeah, let's see. Was unlawfully acquired or is unlawfully possessed. Let's see down here. Okay, let me go to the next one now. So that one was for probably Tyler Robinson's cell phone, I would bet. And this one, and again, this one has the same background information. And this is at 1 in the morning, by the way. This that when Lance showed FBI agent Lang additional text messages between Tyler Robinson and himself. Yeah. A Facebook post was made by Turning Point USA. Yeah, that was on August 27th. And that let people know that they were going to be there. So almost 2 weeks before. A search warrant is being requested in accordance with Utah Code Title 77, Chapter 23B, 23C, or 23F. These chapters stipulate that a government entity must seek a warrant to require a provider to disclose location information, stored or transmitted data, electronic information transmitted by the owner to a remote computer service or through electronic communications service. Let's see. Before May 2019, some of the data could be obtained through an investigative subpoena. However, since then, Utah Code Chapter 23C of Title 77 was amended to expand the definition of electronic information to potentially encompass the data mentioned in the warrant affidavit, subsequent amendments to Chapter 23B, blah, 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 blah. Let's see. Let's see what else does it got down here. Yeah, we could do is, let me try this. Man, I'm going to have to ask again. Is there anybody out there that can do a challenge of some sort, you guys? We got to trying to get moving here. We're only at 33% of the goal. Can you summarize this? Now, let's see.
Here's a clear, structured summary of your document.
This is the second
case overview. This is a search warrant affidavit and warrant issued in Utah County, Utah. It relates to an aggravated murder investigation involving the shooting death of Charles Kirk at Utah Valley University, UVU. Law enforcement is seeking Verizon phone records tied to phone 4356322471. Email 350,776,598,807,9,683. JB 324341. The crime. Date September 10th, 2025. Location UVU campus courtyard. Victim Charles Kirk, a political speaker. Event shot in the neck while speaking to a crowd, approximately 12:23 p.m. Died at the hospital. Autopsy confirmed. Homicide by gunshot. JB 3.
Yeah, and by the way, you guys,
240.
That is Tyler Robinson's phone right there. So that is Tyler's phone. All right. So that is exactly what they're looking at.
4, 5, 6, 3, 2, 2, 4, 7. Phone.
Let's see.
4, 3, 5, 6, 3.
Yeah, so that is his phone. Let me get this voice out of here. Maybe we can use, let's see. They put a whole bunch of new ones in here. I don't know, what's this guy sound like? Caleb.
435632224.
All right, let's see. Come on. Jesus.
Suspect identified. Tyler Robinson. Identified via surveillance footage on campus. Key observations. Seen on rooftop of the Losey Center building. Wearing blue hat, sunglasses, black long-sleeve shirt, flag eagle design, jeans, Converse-style shoes, distinctive stiff right leg gait. Carried a backpack. JB, 3,214,341. Timeline of the shooting. Robinson AM. Robinson arrives on campus, 12:17 p.m. Climbs onto rooftop, 12:22. Prone, moves into shooting position, 12:23 p.m. Shot fired, victim hit. Immediately after, suspect runs, no longer limping, drops off roof, flees across campus. JB, 3,214,341. Physical evidence. Weapon recovered. Bolt-action rifle. Mauser, model 98-3006. Found wrapped in a towel. Strange inscriptions on casings, including political taunting phrases, random or provocative messages. Forensics. Shoe print consistent with Converse-style shoes. Potential. DNA. Fingerprints. Palm print. Recovered. JB. 3,214,341. Confession and digital evidence. Robinson confessed to his father. Turned himself in with parents present. Text messages to boyfriend. Admitted I am the one who did it. Discussed. Trying to retrieve hidden rifle. Evading police. Watching for law enforcement presence. JB 3,214,341. Discord message. Public admission. It was me at UVU. I'm surrendering. JB 3,214,341. Why the Verizon warrant? Investigators want comprehensive phone data, including call logs, texts, M&Ms, location data, cell towers, GPS approximations, data sessions, internet activity, subscriber info, and billing records. Email accounts linked to device. JB 3,214,341. Time range. August 27th, 2024. September 12th, 2025. Starts.
Yeah, so that date there is from the date that it was advertised.
Starts when the event was announced publicly. JB 3,214,341. Legal notes. Warrant is required under Utah law for electronic data. Documents were sealed until March 13th, 2026. Issued with a non-disclosure order. Verizon cannot notify user. JB 3,214,341. Big picture. Key takeaways. This is a targeted digital evidence warrant following strong surveillance evidence, physical evidence, direct confession, multiple sources. The phone data is meant to reconstruct movements, confirm planning, premeditation, corroborate communications and intent.
Oh, there you go. So there's one of them. All right, guys, written one of those massive lulls again. Nobody's typing in. Nobody's doing anything. If you have the ability to help support the channel, that would be great. Thank you.
Here's a clean, detailed breakdown of your second PDF. Search warrant. 3,214,731.
Okay.
And how it fits into the bigger picture. What this document is. A second Verizon search warrant affidavit tied to the same case. Same phone number. 43563222471. Same crime. Aggravated murder. Charles Kirk shooting at UVU. JB 3,214,731. This is essentially a follow-up refinement warrant, not a brand new theory. Key difference from the first warrant. This is the most important takeaway. The affidavit explicitly says a previous warrant already existed. 3,214,341. This new warrant is submitted for clarifying and relevancy purposes. JB 3,214,731. Translation, real-world meaning. Investigators likely needed cleaner legal scope, wanted to tighten language, or ensure all requested data is admissible. This is very common when first warrant is...
What's the thing that you can do where you can type in Control-Shift-F? Is that right? There was some kind of a search. Let's see. How to search all. Yeah, screw it. Forgot what the. There's a thing you can do. You can search through an entire folder. Did we get a challenge or something? Hey, thanks, Kimmy and Carol Silva. Appreciate it. Wow, you guys are finally typing something. Now, what's this one about? Okay. What's this email? I mean, I just got these before the show. That's why I don't know anything what's in them, you know. So let's see what this one.
All right.
Look at. When I upload these PDF files, just give me the portion that is new. Regarding, you know, new in what this warrant seeks. Don't read the small numbers referencing other docs. All right, let's see.
Got it. I'll keep it tight like this going forward. New info only. What's different in this warrant? Google Maps movement. New. Route approximately 23 minutes after shooting. From near UVU.
Wow.
Quick quack car wash. Confirmed by surveillance of his car at the car wash.
Wow.
Indicates intentional cleanup behavior. Return.
Hey, wait. Hey, wait. Look at that. We got something new there. That was cool. Quick quack car wash. And he was cleaning up. Maybe he was trying to... Okay, there's got to be one near... There's one here. It's kind of near the Dairy Queen, just down the road. I bet that's the one. Quick. Quack. Yeah, can't do that. I didn't know he went to a car wash, did you? Let me open that up again. Let's see if we can find that. Quick. All right, a search warrant was obtained for Tyler Robinson's cell phone during a review of the data and information stored on the device. Oh, look at this. I observed a Google Maps route with a start time of 9:10, so September 10th, 2025 at 6:46:13 p.m., so in the evening. And it's UTC +0, so I'm not sure. I think you have to put the UTC time in there. Hold on a second. This is pretty interesting. Okay, so 6:46 p.m. UTC is 12:46 p.m. Mountain Time. So like 6 hours before. Oh wow, that's right after the shooting. That's like right when he was over at the. Hold on a second. Man, that's really crazy. Because he's over at this 12:44. He was right here. Remember that at the, and I think he pulls out, and I bet you right after that he, drove over. I mean, I don't know. I mean, that time might not be associated with, but maybe right around here is where he was pulling out the map, and maybe that's where he was trying to look to see to get to the. Wow. Okay. Here we go. So that might be where he tried to figure out how to get to the quick quack. Let's see. Let's just see. All right, this is like, now we got some cool shit here. A search warrant was obtained for Tyler Robinson's cell phone during a review of the data information stored on the device. I observed a Google Maps route with a start time of 9/10/2025, which is 12:46:13 p.m. According to the time convert, oh, it tells you in the next sentence. Sorry, but I did it myself. All right, accounting for time conversion from UTC to Mountain Daylight Time, or Mountain something time. It's just to be Mountain Standard Time. The route start time was approximately 12:46. The route start time was approximately 23 minutes after the shooting. The starting point for the route was listed with GPS coordinates. The starting point coordinates were near the Mountain Shadow. God, I just nailed it. Mountain Shadow Shopping Center. Man, this is sweet. Is anybody talking about this? Yeah, see? That's exactly what I just told you. It was right here. So while he was, remember when he drove through this parking lot here, and he kind of stopped for a minute. He's looking something up. So let's just do 12:46 p.m. And you guys seem so disinterested. It's amazing. Hello! Let's start typing, everybody! It'd be great! Oh, yikes. Anyways, Mountain Shadow Shopping Center, according to Google Maps. This shopping center is approximately 7 minutes from Utah Valley University campus. So that is a real surveillance footage now. We know that. That when we see the car in that shopping center, it's real. The Google Maps route is from the area near the shopping complex to Quick Quack. Boom. I just said that. That's crazy. And let's see, 8:55. All right, so he was trying to figure out. Agent Draney with the Utah Bureau of Investigation obtained records and video footage from Quick Quack Car Wash of Tyler Robinson's 2013 Dodge Challenger license. Oh, man. This is crazy. That's so awesome. 12:46. Google Maps to Quick Quack Car Wash. Boom. Then he goes, and let's see if it lands right on this one. That's the one I guessed. And boom. Boom chakalaka. And it's that building right there. And then they looked at that surveillance footage. That's amazing. Dodge Challenger Utah license plate, and then arriving at the car wash at 12:57. Man, don't you love having new timeline information? Look at that right there. 12:57 at the Quick Quack. But hey, guys, if you could help support the channel, see what you get on this one. We actually put shit together. We're still way, way, way behind. We're not even at 50%. We're at 40%. So if you guys could, we need some challenges. Who's going to do one? That's about the only way to make it these days. So apparently he was at this Quick Quack here. Car wash, Tyler Robinson, 2013 Dodge Challenger. Arriving at the car wash at 12:57 on 9/10/2025, investigators previously conducted a records check and found Tyler Robinson to be co-owner of the vehicle outlined above. I also observed a second Google Maps route that had been stored on Tyler Robinson's device. The Google Maps route had a start time of 9/11/2025 at 7:33:47 a.m. So let's see if the other one was 6:46 p.m. and then it became 12. So it's 12 hours later. So it'd be not 12, 6 hours later. So that'd be like, no, it's behind, right? Yeah, behind. So if that's 7:33, that means it'd be 1:33. Wow, that's crazy. So that's probably when he got there then. So if it's 7:33:47, it'd be yeah, there it is right there. I should have just kept reading again. Of course, it's right there, 1:33. The starting point for the route was listed with GPS coordinates. The starting point coordinates were in the neighborhood to the north of and in close proximity to the area where the aforementioned rifle was located. Wow, so he was in that area way earlier in the morning. He was there at 1:33. Let's see. The route start time was approximately 1:33 a.m. The starting point for the route was listed with GPS coordinates. So the starting point coordinates were in the neighborhood to the north of and in close proximity. Right, so this is probably right where that surveillance footage is. So that means he's got his car. See, where the rifle was right here, and then in the neighborhood north of, and see, remember he was driving by right here? So he's actually in this neighborhood. They probably have the exact coordinates, but 1:33 a.m. Google Maps. And then let's see where he has it go, maybe. The starting point for the route was listed with GPS coordinates. The starting point coordinates were in the neighborhood to the north and in close proximity to the area where the aforementioned rifle was located near UVU campus. The Google Maps route is from the area near the UVU campus to 3419 River Road. And then, let's see. Investigators have previously conducted a records check and found that Tyler Robinson was residing at 3419 South River Road. Wow, that's weird. So what was the date on that? Oh, that's on the 11th. Holy shit, so he's still hanging out, man. That is crazy. Man, I don't think anybody is talking about this. So it's not the 10th, this is the 11th over here. So he's like back in the area trying to get the damn rifle. He's over here. Wow. So he's trying to get the rifle, and then once he goes, okay, I gotta. So at 1:33 in the morning, he gave up on trying to get that rifle. He's back at his car, and he types in how to get back home. So from there, he typed in, and let's see, he wants to go to, that wasn't it. Let me get the full address. But hey guys, if you could please help support the channel, that would be great. Thank you. We're hitting one of those lulls again where we're getting absolutely zero support, and it's going to be hard to reach the goal. So if you have the ability to, that would be awesome. Okay. I already have, so that was number 72. I guess it might be over number 73. So maybe over here. Wow, so he got his directions to get back home. I think that's just crazy. That's like totally, brand new. Yeah, we don't know, Nosy. We don't know. During review of the data and information stored on Tyler Robinson's device, I observed an Apple ID address associated with the device. The Apple ID email was kratfin247@gmail.com. Another email account associated with the device was Tyler Robinson onit@gmail.com. Through my training and experience, I know that Google collects the store's information associated with the Google account users. Is there more up here? That's all right. Well, there's that one. Okay, let's. Man, that was amazing. Maybe you guys could hit that like button for me.
Perfect. Sticking to your format. New info only.
Jesus Christ.
What's different in this warrant? Search of the person. New. This is not digital. This is a physical body search warrant for Tyler Robinson. This is the earliest stage warrant. Hands-on evidence collection. Clothing plus items seized. New detail. From return inventory. Converse shoes. Blue jeans. Burgundy shirt. Black hat. Belt. Socks. Underwear. Wallet. Chapstick. JB 3,213,451.
Okay. Quit reading the JB numbers.
Got it. No more referencing or mentioning those document numbers. I'll stick strictly to what's new, what the warrant seeks, and keep it clean.
The forensic evidence from the body, DNA, blood, hair, clothing worn, etc. Yeah. Thanks, Wild Bill Wassman, again. Yeah. So who's going to do a challenge for me in here tonight, you guys?
Sticking exactly to your format. New info only. What's different in this warrant? Search of residence. New. Location. Apartment in St. George. Suspect's residence. This expands from person. Now home environment. Handwritten letter. Major new detail. Suspect left a letter under a keyboard. Said something like, he had a shot at the victim and was going to take it. This is pre-crime intent in writing. Potentially one of the strongest pieces of evidence. Burnt note found. New. Inventory shows. Burnt
note found. So that must be Twiggs, after taking a picture of the note, burn it. Now let's see it. Let's see what it says in here. So down here, on the premises known as 3419, this is at his apartment, number 73, a 2-story north-facing apartment. Anything related to firearms, firearm components, ammunition, gunsmithing, tons of different stuff, fibers, biological fluids. Let's see. Let me type in the word note. Okay, return to search warrant. It says burnt note. It says hard drive, cell phone with Raspberry Pi. Oh, so this is stuff that they actually grabbed. So a Hurley hat, computer tower, gray Converse shoes with white laces. That's the kind he was wearing. Astronaut web camera, documents, HP VR headset in box, Old Navy jeans, Levi jeans, magazine and holster cartridges, blue folder with documents, 6 pairs of blue jeans, computer tower, black journal notebook, school ID cards, S&W pistol box, notebook, sunglasses, notebook, leather journal, 2 boxes, Remington 30-06 cartridges, everybody has those gray. Plastic bag, 5 30-06 cartridges, 1 etched test shot. Oh man, you guys, this is. So they can compare it and go, yeah, it's the same type of writing. It must be a setup, though. He's a lackey. That's crazy. Yeah, shit. It says test shot on it, 15 cartridge, empty plastic, Ruger gun box, S&W magazines, revolver and holster, passport, 22 Henry rifle, 22 Winchester rifle, 22 Rosie long rifle, HP stream tablet boxes, ammunition, stick with electronics, 3 notebooks, Dremel tool, iPad, backpack, MacBook, Air laptop, hard drive, cell phone with Raspberry Pi, Converse shoes with gray laces, USB on backpack, Target SD card, burnt note found in trash, buckle swabs. I wonder if that, he wrote one and then he burned it, or that's the one that Twiggs. Lance Twiggs, Matthew Robinson, and Amber Robinson. Are you guys even interested in what we're talking about here? I'm just asking, because we've got Wild Bill Wassman commented about, sent a super, get the membership in about, 10 minutes ago, and there's only 5 comments after that. I don't understand. It just seems, this is where it's so hard, because nobody's even interested enough to type. So if it's that shitty, just let me know, I don't have to do it. Let's see what this one is. Well, you guys aren't, I'm getting no support, nobody's typing, and this is where I generally go, well, time to do something else. And people go, see, he's threatening, he's threatening to quit his No, I just don't want to do it, If you guys aren't interested and I'm not being supported by the people, I just want to do something else. It's really... It's not fun for me. It's no engagement. You get on other places, everyone's like, ooh, whenever you're doing the conspiracy shit, or even if you're not even on that side, but you're discussing conspiracy shit, everybody has so much to say. But when you're just going over the real information, nobody types, and everybody just sits there, and it's like, what do I need to do? Pretend? Ooh, and play like little clown music and shit. Like, hey, yes, everybody, come on in and check it out. Where we're going to be talking about the, hey, woo, bing, 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 bing. And do sound effects. Is that really what we got to be doing? It's ridiculous. So, you guys, if we're doing the shows, I do the shows, you guys support the channel, you engage in the channel, and everybody's communicating, and we're just working through stuff, and that's how we've been doing it. We are just absolutely struggling yet again here. We are currently at 40% of just a normal nightly goal, and people are just, yeah, who cares, Gary? It really matters on this channel, you guys. It really matters a lot. So if you guys could please help support the channel, do some challenges of some sort, communicate, do whatever, that would be great. But we're struggling yet again, and I'm not doing anything differently on my show than I always do. And I'm, what do I do? What do I do? Let's see. What is this warrant seeks? Forensic evidence from the body, DNA. So that's from the body itself. Okay. Move on to this one.
New info only. What's different in this warrant? Search of vehicle. New. Vehicle. 2013 Dodge Challenger. Expands investigation to mobility plus transport plus movement evidence. Pre-crime movement. New detail. Vehicle seen at UVU earlier that morning. Approximately 8:2008 a.m. Suspect. Parks.
Oh, wait.
Walks around key areas.
Oh, sweet. Yeah. I got to get this one open. Man, this is a good one. Pre-experience, connector devices, data associated with the system will contain records. Where's the new part? Okay, a 2013 Dodge Challenger with Utah license plate. Yeah, doesn't matter. Your affiant is requesting to seize and search the vehicle. Anything related to firearms, firearm components, ammunition, and gunsmithing. Photographs of the exterior and interior of the vehicle, and videos of the exterior and interior of the vehicle. Any trace forensic evidence, specific clothing items, and I'm just looking, any other items, clothing, material. They're just saying what they want to look for. What's the part about the route, though, that they were talking about? Let me go back. Seen in UV entering the morning. Okay, it says 8:28. So it says new detail. Parks. Okay, let me type the word parks. Anybody hear what I just said a minute ago, you guys? We need to get the support for the channel up. We got to reach the goals. We haven't reached it 2 out of 3 days in a row. And I need your guys' support. The university security video and discovered Robinson. Oh, wow, okay. So this is, we might want to go up here. Let's see. Soon after Tyler Robinson turned himself into police, Agent Brandon Mortensen with the Utah State Bureau of Investigation confirmed that Mr. Robinson is co-owner of a 2013 Dodge Challenger. Thanks, Carol Silva, again. Very kind, very kind. In addition, Agent Mortensen reviewed Utah Valley. This is new. We haven't seen this before. This whole thing here. Agent Mortensen reviewed Utah Valley University security video and discovered Robinson's Challenger. I'm just making sure. Okay. Enter UVU parking structure. Wow. Entered a parking structure located on Campus Drive. So that must be that place under the tunnel. At approximately 800 West. Oh, wow. Wouldn't that be weird if, like, he parked in there and the dry run leads him back into the same parking structure. So it's kind of a half dry run or something. Or maybe even after he does the dry run, he gets into the car and then comes out of the parking structure. Man, that would be absolutely crazy. Hey, thank you, Aaron Sayers. Very cool. Man, this is like pretty crazy stuff right here, you guys. I mean, look how weird that is. Discovered Robinson's Challenger entered a UVU parking structure located on Campus Drive. Man. Let's open up the, let's take a look at this again. Hold on. We've got it all here, you guys. That's the difference. Everyone else talks, we show, we got it. Hey, we got to 55%. Yeah, just about. I missed loading up. I think I have the surveillance in here somewhere. Where is it? Ah, crap. I don't see it there. Hey, thanks again, Aaron Sayers. Man, were you here a minute ago, Aaron? When did you get here, Aaron? If not, I'll show you what we just found a second ago. I know that you're really into this case. If you just got here, let me, I think I might have to close this one down. I think it was on a different one. Okay, yeah, well, check it out. In these documents right here, you're gonna think this is incredible. I did anyways. You remember how he was over here at this, like that Mexican restaurant or something over here? Remember that, when the Dodger kind of pulls in and parks? Well, that's been verified now. And not only that, see, he comes in here at 12:44, right? And remember how he slows down? And then at 12:46, he got onto Google Maps and he searched how to go to a quick quack car wash. And they told us, so he was there at 12:46, and then he drove right up this road here because he got the directions, and he went to the Quick Quack car wash, and he was there at like 12:57. They verified that he even went into it. He went into this car wash and washed his car. Have you heard that yet? I mean, that's crazy. That's new shit right there. And now we've got new information again, right now. Oh, here we go. Boom. Right on it. There we go. So look at, I'm the one that got this video out there. I think I'm the only one that has this other than law enforcement. Well, it's new today, nosy Google, so you probably hadn't. Anyway, here it comes right here. I don't know, but it's out there. Well, they released it's in the warrants. That's why. It's in one of the warrants. That's what we're looking at. So look at this right here. This is at 8:22. So he's driving around. See that? Boom. That's the Dodge Challenger. That's Tyler Robinson's in that vehicle. Okay, he's driving it. And then this camera right here picks it up. And we would see it turn right there because there's a cul-de-sac. He didn't do that, so he kept driving up. All right, so what he probably did then, if we go to the map up here, see right there, this is the house that we were just looking at. So he just drove up this street, and then he went this direction at 12:28. And I wouldn't be surprised if right then he went left, and then took this left right over here, and then he goes into the parking garage. Right, wow, that's absolutely exactly what he did. Look at this, watch this. Look how simple this is. And I'm pretty sure this is it. They're probably going to give us the... So he drove by and he goes up like this. Let me make this thicker so you can see as I'm going. Goes up over here. Yeah, let me make it a different color just so it's... And then probably just right over to here, turns in, comes around, goes down, and then right there goes into that garage. That's what I bet. I bet you anything. Unless it's not the right garage. But let's just say that that's it. Okay, Nosy. Get out of here, Nosy. Go do something else, all right? You're not interesting. Hey, Gray. Oh, yeah. You see, because I was over here and I, just... I've never even seen you before. You come in here and you try to, like... You're on top of it, man. You're on top of it. Yikes. Let's see. So, in addition, Agent Mortensen received a Utah Valley University security video and discovered Robinson's Challenger entering a UVU parking structure located on Campus Drive at approximately 800 West. So let's see if that is located on Campus Drive. So I guess that we'd have to put 800 Campus Drive. Yeah, and this is right here. Is this? Oh, then it's west though, so it's west. There you go. See, that's it. See, I mean, there's 800 West, and they said parking structure. So I'm just going to guess it's the same one that he walks under. See that? Those little steps he goes in there. Okay, this is crazy. All right, so let's keep going. After entering the structure, Robinson parked. Oh my God! And this is what I was just thinking. And exited his vehicle, and walked around the campus until 9:24 hours, when he returned to his car. Wow! In the video, oh, Jesus, man, this is amazing. You. Look at this shit. And where are the super chats, you guys? This is like super chat worthy stuff. We are absolutely struggling yet again. We're only at 55%. If you guys could help support the channel, that'd be great. Robinson parked and exited his vehicle and walked around the campus until 9:24 hours, when he returned to his car. God, I know exactly what he did, man. In the video, Robinson is seen wearing a ball cap, a red t-shirt, light-colored shorts, and Converse-style tennis shoes. So we got to put this all, we got to mark this in here. Anyways, you guys, if you could please help support the channel, I'd really appreciate it. Alright, so he goes into here. Where is it? There it is. At 8:28. 8:28, parking garage. Anybody hear me? 8:28 parking garage, and then returns at 9:24. Returns the car after walking around campus. Alright, and then when he returned to his car, in the video, Robinson is seen wearing a ball cap, a red t-shirt, light-colored shorts, and Converse-style tennis shoes. During the time that Robinson walked around the campus, he is seen visiting areas such as the wooded area near where the rifle... Wow, so, my God. So he might not have done a dry run, but he was looking... He went through the tunnel, and then he went around and looked. Because you got to go through the tunnel to be able to get over there. I think, if I remember correctly, this is all fenced in over here. So when he went walking down this street here, I think it's fenced. Let me go look. Yeah, see how there's a fence along there? I guess, though, he could have just walked right past it on the edge there. So, you know, it's possible he didn't go into that tunnel. But he's seen over here. Let's put that in there. So during that time, so between 8:28 and 9:24, so he was there for an hour that time. He was over near here. So wearing maroon, let's see, 8:28, 9:24 in this area. You know, just, I don't even know how to word that. It's just like it's somewhere in between that time he was right there. All right. Yeah, she won't report any of this stuff. Doesn't fit her story. It's all cover up. It's all something. He is, God, this it's just so, every time you hear something new, it hurts him even more. Thanks, Alley Cake, Wild Bill, and Aaron. Man, this is awesome. Yeah, so during the time that Robinson walked around the campus, he's seen visiting areas such as the wooded area near where the rifle was later recovered and the site where the victim was shot. Wow. So he literally, like, you know, walked over to, man, this is just unbelievable stuff here. Between 8:28 and 9:24, 9:24, walked here. I visited the area Charlie was shot. I bet he looked up back at the, you know, like he probably went down here like this, and then he like where what we did that when we were there, but he looks up there to see, oh, okay, yeah, because the tent's probably already sitting there, maybe. I don't know. That's crazy, though. So he was there, and he hit save. And travel north. Okay, that says Robinson leaves the parking structure in his vehicle at 9:32. All right, so then let's put that right here. Leaves, okay, 9:32 a.m. Leaves parking structure. Man, this is crazy. After all this time. And travels northeast from the campus, which is the direction from which he is later observed walking towards the campus prior to the shooting. Yeah, but he does. They don't have. I mean, it's interesting because they don't have another time frame that he was walking around. So they say northeast. So northeast, right up here. Right? So I think he definitely parked right. I think he parked exactly where I said he parked. Right there. This is a perfect spot. It matches every single thing that they... Look at it. He parks right next to these bushes here. This house can't see a damn thing. This side has another fence. Nobody can see anything. And all you have to do is have your car door open on the inside. And I think he used that. And then I think it's possible later then he moved the vehicle to right here for his final run. But let's see how this all kind of fits together here. According to Special Agent Payton with the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the owner of the home located at 680 West, I think that's one of the two with the surveillance. Where is it? Oh, right here. That's different. Wow. Okay. Well, shit. This is something new. Orem contacted police and advised that he had captured video on his Nest camera a Dodge Challenger parked across the street from his home. Oh, so it's a little bit just over here. The vehicle initially parked at approximately... Oh, this is 12:47 hours. On September 11th, they said 10:25, but I think they mean 20:25, and left at 1:35 a.m. Oh yeah, okay, wow. So that's a different. Well, I mean, if it's 12:47, initially parked at 12:47. See, that's interesting. That means he parked there just to try to retrieve the rifle. That's a different spot. Isn't that weird? I mean, because he parked right here. Man, that's crazy. This is right where Paramount Tactical flew their drone. I mean, literally, like probably, I was standing right here. I was here. I've been here. I've walked by this 50 times. So right here, they're saying. So Tyler parked here at 12:47. Tyler Robinson parked here at 12:47. This must be AM though, like really late at night. Is that what they're saying? Let me see. I'm kind of confused. If it's just 12:47 hours, that should just be noon on September 11th, and then left at 1:35 a.m. though. See, 01:35. I think this is an error here. Maybe. This should be like 047, not 12. This, you see what I'm saying? The street from his home. The vehicle initially parked at 12:47. That'd be noon, and then left at 1:35. That doesn't make sense, right? Because he was driving around. He was already at 12:47 p.m. that day. He was over at 12:46. He was right here, and then at 12:57 he's at the Quick Quack. All right, but that's on the 10th, right? And they're saying on the 11th, 12:47. So that must be a.m., don't you think, you guys? That has to be a.m. because it's approximately 12:47 hours on September 11th, 2025, and left at 1:35. And that 1:35 matches what we had heard earlier. I have him leaving right over here at 1:33. He did a Google Maps, and then he drove home. So that actually needs to be right here. And then, because that's different. Like this is after he'd already driven away to the car wash, etc. All right, guys, if you can help support the channel, that'd be awesome. We're still just kind of not making it. We're at, we're still $100 short of just reaching the goal. So if you guys as a whole could help out, that'd be great. My channel does rely on you guys, and that's what allows us to do all the great work outside of the show as well. Yeah, I can't find that article, Aaron. I was just looking that up the other day, a week prior. Okay, if you can find that, can you email it to me? I was trying to find that article. I know I have it in this folder, but there's so many files now that it's hard to... So that's when he looked up on Google Maps. And then at 1:35 he drives away. So that makes total sense. Like 2 minutes later, 1:35 a.m. Drives home, basically. That's what he does. And that's what it says right here. So don't you guys agree right now? I've asked you guys this 17 times now. Nobody answers. It's typical, though. This part right here, it says 12:47 is when it parked on September 11th. And it says 10:25. Obviously, that's supposed to be 20:25. And left at 1:35. This right here should be 0:47. I think that's when he finally moved his car. You know, he brought it back into the area. This should be 12:47 a.m. on the 11th. Because 12:47 on the 10th, he is somewhere totally different at the Mexican restaurant. And then the Quick Quack. Right? So the 12:47, and it's even the right day. They got the right day of September 11th. So that would be the following day. But we already know that he took off at 1:35. So that's 12:47 a.m. So I'm going to put that in there. Tyler Robinson parked here at 12:40. Again, no replies. Everybody just shuts the hell up. And 12:47 a.m. Do you guys even hear what I'm saying? If I ask questions, I'm wanting replies. Yeah, it's just crazy. Don't you get it? That it should be 12:47 a.m. It should have said 0:47 if they're using military time. All right, great. All right, thanks. Whew. According to Agent Mortensen with the Utah State, so then he left at 1:35 after searching at 1:33, had to get home. So 2 minutes later, he pulls away. According to Agent Mortensen with the Utah State Bureau of Investigation, the infotainment telematics system can contain information related to hands-free cellular telephone support. Agent Mortensen knows from the training and experience that a motor vehicle is no longer just limited to transportation. Okay, but here's something we gotta work this in here. Hold on. And let me put this in here. We got parking. Parking garage. So if he left here at 9:24, or no, it was later than that. 9:32, his car leaves this area, and then they said it drove up into this area over here. So I'm gonna, I could just guess that it was over in this area. I'm just gonna say, by 9:40-ish. This is just sort of a 9:40 a.m. parks in this area. Yeah, somewhere over here. Let me read that again. But hey guys, how do we get the support for the channel up? We haven't had a challenge all night. Can we get one? Just one of those would get us to at least 80% of the minimum. Or not even 80%, but 66. And traveled northeast from the campus, which is the direction. So he traveled northeast from the campus, which is in the direction from which he later is observed walking towards the campus prior to the shooting. All right, so let's just say he parks over here around 9:40. And then we go back to this, and then check this out. I mean, that's him. There's no doubt about it. So he parked right over there. And then he goes, and after he walked around again, it's almost like this is the dry run, right? Hey, look at that, you guys. Aaron Sayers is going to do a 5 for $5. All right. So there's one. Finally got one. Look at. All right, so if 5 of you just gift a $5 or a channel membership, they'll donate 5 all by themselves. You heard from him. He doesn't like me at all. I don't agree with anything that he says. Ellie Willis. I mean, hopefully you were over there and you just kind of see what they say, but you agree with people like me. I mean, we use common sense, logic, etc. But could you guys help support the channel by matching Aaron Sayers' 5 for 5? But look at him, he's right there at 9:57. So even if you just use the time where the car leaves the parking garage at 9:34, this is only 23 minutes later, you guys. This is 23 minutes later. And look at it, he's walking back towards campus. Now, I don't know if they had this footage at the time when they wrote those warrants, right? Because those warrants come out and they just have what they have. And you can see him way over there. He's still right there. He's walking, and then he disappears from the camera. And then I've timed it out where this is 10:07. He's walking by right here. This is him. And he's going back. Now watch even over here. See how he's walking and he's about 4 feet from the cement or the sidewalk? Now watch. But right at the edge, see that he's getting right next to the curb because he cuts across onto the grass again. And what that means to me is that he is actually right here. You just see him go around this bush and he's going onto the grass again. And he's coming down and probably cross this bridge over here. And then I think you'll have him on camera going through the tunnel. Now, it's also possible, though, that he went up here and did something else. But I think he was doing a dry run. He went through the tunnel. And, hell, when he was... I bet you... I think it's possible when he went into that parking garage, he went through the tunnel, made it out to here, walked around, went over there, did stuff. It's crazy. Hey, guys, can we please reach Aaron's goal here? We got one person who... put one in there. We need 4 more of the channel memberships gifted. I don't have a beef with you, Ellie. He's just an idiot. I mean, he doesn't believe. I believe Tyler Robinson is the shooter. 100% is the killer of Charlie Kirk. Now, whether or not he had some of his furry friends were help plotting behind the scenes, who knows, right? But none of the stuff that he talks about, the airplanes, the Egyptian shit, none of that stuff is related to anything at all. He just does it for clicks and views, and it works, man. I mean, and he rode the coattails of Candace Owens, who gets him 20,000 people per show. Now, if he was just a regular person covering the case normally, he wouldn't have anybody watching, just like my show, because we just put out the factual information, and those people like him suck the oxygen out of the room for the rest of us. Yeah. Right. But what do you mean disagreement with him? His views are ridiculous. Like you're over there watching something that is absolutely not going to be true, so you're wasting your time, right? Anyways, you can watch whatever the hell you want, though. It's it's like watching reality TV. That's absolutely useless information, but sure, And it's not just my opinion. I'm telling you the absolute truth. All right, we got 2 of them, you guys. Can we get 3 more gifted memberships up there? That's how we get to the goals. We're not Baron, who sells a bunch of snake oil shit to everybody and gets thousands of people watching, so it doesn't have to worry about being supported, but my channel does, because that's the only way we're surviving, is if you guys are doing that. We just need 3 more gifted memberships to reach the goal, the challenge by Aaron. Yeah, this has been incredible, though. I mean, there's so much new stuff in this. It's amazing. But if you got here late, what we found out earlier was that, like that Mexican, or maybe it was I don't remember what kind of shop it was. There was a shop over here, and we see Tyler Robinson's car driving by, right? And then it sort of slows down. Well, during that time frame, at 12:46, he types into Google Maps how to get to the quick car wash. And then from there, he probably drives out and goes this direction and pulls in right over at this quick car wash, and he got there at 12:57. And this is after the shooting, right? The day of the shooting, the new information that we have is that, let's see. At I think it was 8:28 in the morning, his Dodge Challenger is seen going into this parking garage here, and then after that they see him wearing the red shirt, the shorts, everything that we just saw, walking around. He even went to this wooded area over here, and then he went to the area where where Charlie Kirk was shot over here. He walked around there. Then he got back to the car, about an hour later, So 8:28 to 9:24, almost an hour, and then he gets to his car, and then he drives the car out of there at 9:32 and goes over, like they said, he heads northeast. So I don't know how they get that out of there, but like northeast up into here. And then I think he probably parked the car over here. And then we see him again, walking from where that car was a little bit later on this video right here. Hey, you guys, can we reach Aaron's goal for me, please? Now, everybody, I mean, I've explained to you how we've just struggled the last 4 days. It's been an absolute nightmare. And this will at least get us to a point where it's not, I mean, we're not even close again, but it's just something. So we need 3 more gifted memberships to reach Aaron's challenge. Can we do that, please? I'm talking to everybody out there. Yeah, so we have him walking right here. And this time frame on this clock is 9:57. See that? And there he is. Maroon short shirt, backpack, shorts. And so this is after that. So that means he probably did a dry run. And then he makes it back to his car. I would say like at, so maybe 11 o'clock he's done with the dry run. And then he makes it back to his car, and then here he is after he's changed clothes again. And where that's located is right over here. So right when you're seeing him here, he's walking this direction, which is just around the corner from the two spots I think he may have parked, there or over here. And then he's walking back, and this is when he then comes down the street, goes by this camera, crosses here, goes into the tunnel. We see him walking up the stairs. Then he comes out right there. Then he walks down this direction, comes up, and then we've just learned recently that he takes the sidewalk. So he goes on the sidewalk over here like this, turns right, goes through the door, then onto the roof right there at 12:15, coming up the steps. Then he 12:17 goes over inside of this little area right there. Then at 12:22 he gets up, goes over here, starts kind of shimmying around, and then at 12:23 and 29 seconds from this position shoots Charlie Kirk right there. Then he stands up, he runs this direction, comes around to here, climbs off. And then when climbing off, he left these marks on that corner of the building, hits the ground, runs this direction, goes across the street into the woods where he changes clothes and leaves the rifle and the wrapped in a towel in there. And then he takes off. And then eventually he comes back, he tries to get to the rifle, and then amazingly he parked right there. And look how close that is to where the rifle was. He probably kept looking and waiting and trying to, and he couldn't do it. So then at 1:35 in the morning he took off. Thank you, Ing Travel 84. So what's the deal with, why is it so difficult tonight to get to the challenges, you guys? Jesus, unbelievable. I don't think he thought he was in I don't know if he thought he was in a video game. But he just kept going around and around in circles. Alright, there's 3. We need 2 more, you guys. 2 more. Well, there's Aaron anyways. He did 5. Thank you. Even though the people didn't reach it. Thank you so much. Alright, let's try another one. Anything new in these? Thank you, Aaron. So why don't you guys do the other 2 that Aaron asked you guys to do?
What's different in this warrant? Full phone extraction. New stage. This is a forensic search of the physical iPhone, not just carrier data. Like Verizon, this is deep-level device extraction. Follow-up clarification warrant. New context. States a prior warrant already existed. This one is for clarifying and relevancy purposes. JB.
Oh, wow. Look at that. Jesus. Every one of these is freaking amazing. Hold on a second. Hold on. Hold on. Jesus. Sitting. I'm just reading like the quick notes that ChatGPT so I can just see what the gist of it is. All right, here we go. On September 10th, 2025, Charles James Kirk was at the Utah Valley. Okay, that's sitting under. There must be another. I guess it doesn't do that. Let me see. What was the different wording it might have used? It says new detail. Rifle. Retrieving rifle. Yeah, let me just put the word rifle in there. It's got to be. I know it's in there other times. Shouldn't be long now. Okay. Wrapped in a dark colored towel, the rifle was determined to be a Mauser. Right. Okay, I think we have this stuff here. Bring back. Okay. I'm not sure what it's referring to. It says sitting in a car watching videos. Yeah, I mean that's. I think we remember that he was. That was from another day. The other warrant, it said that he was. What's that called when you just kind of skip through videos after video after video? Your affidavit is requesting to search and seize the cell phone. That's not it. Audio recording download. Charles was wearing a white t-shirt. What's that called when you just kind of go through videos? It's not surf. It has a specific name to it. Okay, there he goes. Oh, yeah, that's right. So as part of that text, it says, I'm more worried of what my old man would do if I didn't bring back Grandpa's rifle. 7th message. He's far scarier than any Fed. Not gonna lie. 8th message. Guess I'm just sitting in my car watching reels. There you go. Watching reels. For another hour, hoping this guy F's off. 9th message. Are you okay still? Yes. Checking spot again. So that means, God, isn't that crazy, you guys? That means he's sitting right over here. Hour after hour, right there. And he probably, like, walks over here a little bit or something and glances. You can still see the cop car right in his way there. That's crazy. And by the way, Ellie Willis, I was just telling you, I don't want to disappoint you. If you're like somebody that is believing that Tyler Robinson is part of some big cover-up setup thing, and I'm 100% certain that Tyler Robinson's the shooter. It's one of the strongest cases I've ever covered. I'm not a political YouTuber. I mean, I bring up stuff every once in a while, but I'm a true crime YouTuber, and I've never seen a case stronger than this in my entire life. It's absolutely crazy. It's it's even worse today. I mean, after going through this, it's just crazy, you know. He's sitting around looking at reels. So let's... Yeah, they're going to get the GPS data, metadata, etc. with the videos. And all right, let me read what it generally said on this. So what the warrant seeks, everything on the phone, calls, texts, contact, voicemails, the media, he wants photos and videos, audio recordings, downloads, GPS history, app-based location data, metadata. This is the deep dive into the suspect's mind. I don't know. All right, let me throw the next one in there. We've already seen that. I just go straight for the where it says new information. It's weird that it knows.
New info only. What's different in this warrant? Discord account servers, new. Targets specific Discord servers. Craftopia, Gaiman. The corruption. JB, 3,214,311. This is the first time. Group chat environments are being pulled. Online community activity, new angle. Focus is not just the suspect alone. It includes other members, admins, interactions inside servers. This opens. Who he talked to, who knew what. Possible influence audience. Discord confession link. Expanded. Confession message tied directly to Discord username. Posted in group chat before surrender. Now, not just a screenshot. Platform verified evidence. Other users identified. New. Warrant seeks. Info on all members plus admins. Emails. Phone numbers. Account info.
Right, 'cause who
This
knows?
suggests investigators looking at.
I mean, the only chance of there being, like, he didn't act alone would be something related to the furries. You know, his little buddies there. So the warrant seeks messages, group chats, direct messages, images, video, files shared in the server, usernames, all kinds of stuff. So that might be where they get the actual conversation between Twigs and Tyler Robinson, not just photographs taken at the police station when he scrolled through his phone. But we already have the evidence. Nosy Google. Oh, you're that guy again? Yeah, gonna have to. You're just a troll. I've always been one. Maybe see you tomorrow sometime. All right, have a good one. Let's see. What does it say right here? Yeah, they have every single bit of information. Yeah. We already know, like, here's the thing is we're not the jury, right? We've already got all the information that you could ever possibly need. Like, that's the scary part is the information that we have right now, that there's people that are like, I don't know, man. It's just sus. You know what sus is? Your brain. There is absolutely nothing. This is like ludicrously strong. It's way more strong than the Idaho 4 case. This is like, you know, if you're going to have the quintessential case to tell people, hey, you guys, this case is, this is what you're looking for. This is it. All right. Awesome. We still didn't get the last two gifted memberships of Aaron, who so generously gifted 5, but the other 2 were never met. So if you guys could do those, that'd be great. I think it's weird that people can't use their own brain, look at something and go, yep, man, this all makes sense. Wow. That looks very similar to the last one. Are you guys even here anymore? Hello? The chatting all stopped. I mean, look at when I asked about what's that called when you script through, and then Aaron typed in reels. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 comments since that, and that was like 10 minutes ago.
New info only. What's different in this warrant? Second phone target. New person. This warrant is for a different phone number. Belongs to Lance Twiggs. Boyfriend. JB.
No, I don't want the JB number.
214,411. First time. Investigation expands beyond suspect. Close associate. Focus on communications between them. New. Specifically targeting. Messages between suspect and Lance. Already known texts are now being verified plus fully recovered.
Right,
This is
It's always
corroboration evidence. Location verification of Lance. New. Investigators want to track Lance's phone location. Before, during, after crime. Key question. Was he involved or just a recipient? Suicidal endgame messages. Expanded. New texts include talking about going
They want to. It's like virtue signaling.
about going out on my own terms, not wanting to go through court, trying to meet before surrender. Shows post-crime mental state escalation. What this warrant seeks. Full Verizon records. Lance's phone. Calls, incoming, outgoing, texts and M&Ms, including content, data usage, location data, cell tower records, GPS triangulation data, movement tracking, subscriber info, identity details, emails linked to account, device identifiers, billing payment info, payment methods, account history. Bottom line, this is the associate verification warrant. Purpose, confirm, timeline of communications. Whether Lance had any involvement, strengthen authenticity of texts. Send the next. New info only. What's different in this warrant? Forensic search of seized devices. New stage. This is a follow-up to the house search. Now they are digitally extracting the devices already seized. Devices include tablet, HP Stream, iPad, MacBook Air, computer tower, cell phone, plus Raspberry Pi device, USB drive, SD card, external hard drive, JB 3,214,751. Planning evidence.
Yeah. I told you already to not read the JB numbers.
Got it. And you're right. No more of that. Here's the clean version. New info only. What's different in this warrant? Forensic search of devices. Follow-up step. This warrant is for analyzing devices already seized from the residence, not a new location. This is lab-level extraction. Explicit focus on digital planning. Investigators are specifically looking for event research, routes navigation, location planning, maps, satellite views. This clearly shows they believe the planning happened on these devices. Raspberry Pi mention. Tech detail. One device setup includes a Raspberry Pi connected to a phone. That stands out as a more technical setup than typical users. Possible. Experimentation. Custom data handling. Privacy attempts. Full forensic imaging. They are authorized to make complete copies of devices. Recover deleted data. This is deep extraction, not surface-level review. What this warrant seeks. All data on devices. Files, documents, downloads, emails and account data. Search and browsing history. Communications. Messages, texts, apps, chats, media, photos, videos, audio, metadata, timestamps, GPS, location data, GPS history, app-based tracking, deleted hidden data, recovered deleted files, any hidden or stored data, financial info, any financial records stored on devices. Bottom line, this is the deep digital evidence warrant. Goal, prove planning plus intent through device activity. Send the next.
Yeah, here's the next one. We're on like 11 or
New
16.
info only. What's different in this warrant? Follow-up vehicle warrant. Clarification. This is a second refined warrant for the same vehicle. Submitted for clarifying and relevancy purposes.
That's more
JB
detailed.
3,214,771. Not a brand new search. It's tightening scope for court. Expanded infotainment system detail. New depth. Much more detailed explanation of what the car
Infotainment
system can
system.
store. GPS routes and history. Call text data synced from phones. Bluetooth connections. Media. Contacts. Messages. Event logs. Doors. Lights. Gear shifts, etc. This is key. They are heavily targeting digital evidence inside the car. Stronger focus on location reconstruction. Emphasizes tracking where the vehicle traveled, how long it stayed at locations. Movement patterns over time. This reinforces vehicle equal to timeline reconstruction tool, cross-device data link, New emphasis. Notes that vehicle system can store data from connected phones, even after devices are removed. That's important. Car may contain residual phone data. What this warrant seeks. Physical evidence in vehicle. Weapons. Ammo. Firearm-related items. Clothing matching suspect description. Bags. Receipts. Personal items. Forensic evidence. DNA. Gunshot residue. GSR. Hair. Fibers. Biological material. Vehicle digital system. Key target. GPS navigation history. Connected device data. Call text logs. Synced to vehicle. Event logs and system data. Documentation. Photos and video of vehicle. Inside, outside. Bottom line. This is the enhanced vehicle data warrant. Focus shift. Not just searching the car, but mining it like a digital device. New info only. What's different in this warrant? Dashcam specific warrant. New target. This isolates. Vantru dash camera plus micro SD card. Previously seized from the vehicle. This is a focused digital warrant on video evidence. Interior plus exterior recording capability. New detail. Dashcam has forward-facing camera, interior-facing camera. That's huge. Could capture. Driving route. Suspect inside the car.
This car has
Conversations.
cameras on it?
Device.
What the hell? It's ridiculous. Let me see. What is this? It's requesting to search the Vantru dash camera, serial number, and the removable micro SD card. What's a Vantru? What is that? All right, guys, any chance you could help support the channel? We didn't quite make the goal. Be great. Yeah, it looks like it's just like a, you know, like that. A camera. I mean, did he have one on his car? How stupid. Vantru dash camera unit as identified in the affidavit for information or data that is seen to be pertinent to the investigation of aggravated murder. This is to include, but not limited to, electronically stored information, including digital files, video files, and video or audio recordings, downloads or copies, all GPS mapping and coordinates, including historically archived information, the ability to create a forensic image of the device and their contents. Law enforcement officer. I wonder if they're talking about, like, that's what they're talking about. Like, that's on the dash cameras of law enforcement. And they want to get that information and present it. Or at least have it. You know, maybe that's when Tyler Robinson walks up. Was unlawfully. I don't know. That's weird. On the item described as a black-colored Ventru dash camera and a removable micro SD card to any peace officer in the state of Utah. Proof by affidavit. Oh, so any peace officer under criminal penalty of the state of Utah having been made to me by investigator Justin Bowen of the State Bureau of Investigation. I am satisfied that there is probable cause to believe that I bet you that's a specific police officer's dash camera. Something like that. Yeah, I think this is a case they're not going to allow a plea deal. You can't allow people to do what he did.
New info only. What's different in this warrant? Internet service provider warrant. New layer. Targets. Quantum fiber. Lumen Technologies. Account. Link to
I have a quantum fiber.
trobinsonat@gmail.com. JB 3,000,000.
You did it again.
200.
It's okay. You did it again. I have told you 3 times now not to say the JB number. Why did you do it again? You're a computer, for God's sakes. I slipped. I was automatically attaching the... Okay. Yeah.
Got it. Clean and exactly how you want it. New info only. What's different in this warrant? Internet service provider target. New. This warrant targets the suspect's home internet account, Quantum Fiber. First time. Investigators go after internet activity at the residence. Direct link to planning at home. New clarity. Investigators state the internet service may have been used in preparation for the murder. This is important. They're now tying planning directly to at-home internet use. Recent billing confirmation. New detail. Subscription payment just days before the crime. Linked to suspect. Residence address. Confirms active internet use during planning window. IP plus session. Tracking focus. New. Emphasis on login sessions. IP address history.
Okay, well, anyways, that's just, boring. Let me put this in here. See what the next one is. Don't read it again. Don't read the JB number.
New info only. What's different in this warrant? Apple iCloud account warrant. New layer. Targets. Apple ID. iCloud account. cratfin247@gmail.com. This is separate from Google. Apple equal.
Okay, that's good. Next one. This is the last one.
New info only. What's different in this warrant? Apple iCloud for boyfriend, new person. Apple side. Targets. Lance Twiggs Apple accounts. This is the Apple equivalent of the earlier phone warrant on him. Confirms his device ecosystem. New clarity. Identifies multiple Apple IDs tied to his device. Meaning, his communications plus activity exist across iPhone, iCloud backups, synced Apple services. Photo of handwritten letter. Major new detail. Lance photographed the suspect's letter.
I knew it. So that's a good one. All right, hold on. Let me open that one up. I knew it. That's what I told you guys. Let me see that. Tyler Robinson was not wearing clothing consistent. He was. Okay. Where is this? Crap. I gotta go back. iPhone. Photographed. Letter. Let me just type in the word letter. That's got to be... Okay, let's see. A search warrant was obtained for Lance Twiggs' cell phone during a review of the data and information stored on Lance Twiggs' device. The Statewide Information Analysis Center, or SIAC, provided me with information for the 2 Apple ID addresses associated with Twiggs. The Apple ID email were Lance Twiggs and meme is, memes instead of dreams. Tyler Robinson and Lance Twiggs both were communicating on Apple iPhone devices. According to information obtained from FBI investigators who reviewed the information stored on Lance Twiggs' device, Twiggs took a photograph of a letter that Tyler Robinson wrote to him. For context, Tyler Robinson had sent a message to Lance Twiggs on 9/10/2025 that said, "Drop what you're doing, look under my keyboard." During Lance Twiggs' interview with investigators, he explained that he found a handwritten letter underneath the keyboard. Hey, thank you so much there, Chris O'Connell. Hey, look at that. We got to about 80% of the goal. Just like that. Thank you. How's it going out there, Chris O'Connell? Hadn't seen you for a few days. Let's see. There's some interesting stuff in here tonight. We'll probably at the end just do like a quick of the main review of the stuff that's there. Oh man, look at that. Phyllis Watson jumped in there. Were you guys talking on the outside or what? It's like this moron Tyler Robinson was following a checklist entitled Things to Do to Ensure Your God. Do you write, like, you write, you're pretty funny, man. He checked off nearly everything on the list. Yeah. Let's see, what does that get us to? Let's see. Yeah. Let's see, 140, 158. We need 7 more channel memberships to reach the goal tonight. Just like that, you see? That was pretty cool. Thank you. All right, so then Tyler Robinson had sent a message to Lance Twiggs on 9/10/2025 that said, drop what you're doing, look under your keyboard. During Lance Twiggs' interview with investigators, he explained that he found a handwritten letter underneath the keyboard. Based on information from Tyler and Lance's phones, it is believed that Tyler sometimes refers to Lance as Luna. The following is what Tyler Robinson wrote on the letter to Lance Twiggs. Based on the photograph found on Lance's phone, Luna, if you're reading this per my text, then I'm so sorry. I left the house this morning on a mission and set an auto text. I'm likely dead or facing a lengthy prison sentence. I had the opportunity to take out Charlie Kirk and I took it. I don't know if I will have succeeded, but I had hoped to make it home to you. Now why'd you know what's weird is you wanted to keep it secret, but you had an automatic text, so no matter what they would have known, right? I wish we could have lived in a world where this did not feel necessary. I wish I could have stayed for you and lived our lives together. I lack the words to express how much I love you and how very much you mean to me. Please try and find joy in this life. I love you always, Tyler. Yeah. But how's it going up there, Chris O'Connell? And Phyllis Watson. Through my training and experience, I know that Apple stores information associated with their Apple iCloud account users. This information is associated. Right, so now we know for certain. Well, he took the photograph. He did. We already knew that he showed the photograph of the letter on his phone. So. Oh wait, maybe I have it on. I don't have it on live chat. Maybe that's a problem. All right, what if I do? How about this? I'll do my challenge then. If you guys do 5, I'll donate 5, and then I can pretend that we made the goal. All right, how's that sound? I'll donate 5 memberships if you guys donate 5. My mom broke her hip. Wow, Jesus, that's bad. In surgery and is recovering. I've been busy. Man, I hope how's she doing though? Does it sound like she's going to be able to recover well from that, or those hip breaking things can be pretty dangerous? Well, there you go. Look at that. just out of the chute there. Yeah, that's not good. And there we go. Saying turn on live chat. Well, I didn't miss anything. Yeah. All right, so if you got here late, I think I already know. I don't need to have that proven. I already know that. Yeah, some really cool information came in tonight. I saw that. Thank you, Chris O'Connell. Yeah, she just reached the, that's why I did the 5. She matched my 5. Thank you, Chris O'Connell. Boom chakalaka. Let's see. See. Anyways, thanks up there again, all you guys. Appreciate it. You know, we had Wild Bill Wassman a little bit there, or quite a few different random ones earlier. And then we had Aaron and Chris O'Connell and Phyllis Watson. And then other people too earlier on. I just haven't. I've got to go through those at the end. Yeah, how's it going though for your mom? Oh, and then also forgot Marty's Bar and Grill earlier. All right, so the new information here it's pretty amazing, you guys. Listen to this. So if you came late, this is what we now have. Is, you know, you remember it? I guess if we go back to the beginning, this car right here, when it drives by, that is 8:22 in the morning. All right, so it drove by at 8:22 in the morning, and I'm going to show you exactly what I think the car did. So it's right in that video. It's driving by right here. I think it drove up straight, turned left, drove down the street here, turned left right there, and then at 8:28. The vehicle pulls into the parking structure. Then Tyler Robinson gets out of the car wearing the maroon shirt, the shorts, etc. And then they saw him walking around the area where he put the rifle. They saw him walking around the area where Charlie Kirk was shot down in here. And then he makes his way back to the vehicle. And at 9:24, the Charger drives out of the parking garage and then heads back up into this area again. And now we know, which isn't in the documents, that at, you know, so that would have been 9:34, probably got over here at 9:40-ish, and then we see Tyler Robinson walking here at 9:58. So he parks his car, sits around for a while. Now he's going to do it on foot. He's going to do his little dry run. So what I think he did was, and we see him, he's walking around, he walks all the way here, and then he leaves the camera footage. He comes around, and we know that he ends up on camera footage over here, so he likely, almost certainly, walked over here like this, and walked right there, and will be filmed on the same camera across the street earlier, wearing the maroon shirt, as we see him in the dark one. Then he walks around, comes around the corner here, and then we see him at 10:07, which is, so right after this, he goes around the corner, and then right there at 10:07, there he is. He's wearing exactly the same clothing. The shadow analysis that I did way at the beginning of the case shows that that was at 10:07, not 8:07, as Candace Owens told everybody. So I debunked Candace Owens, and unknowingly, when Barron and other people were using my work, they didn't realize that they were debunking their boss, you know. I mean, that's, she was probably like, hey, you guys, hey, you're not supposed to do that. Yeah, so anyways, walks by there, and then I think after he walks by there, he does the same thing. He comes around, probably figures out the exact route he's going to walk, wearing, he wants to check it out, like, okay, I'm going to go up these stairs here, because I'm going to have this rifle in my pants. And he probably walked all the way over to here, and he goes, okay, I got it. Boom. Then he makes his way back to his vehicle, however he does it. We don't have any footage, so we don't know exactly how he got back. But I think he got back to his vehicle right here, and then I think after that he drove the vehicle, maybe, to this location. This is just a theory, to here. Then he got out of the vehicle there, and then we see him walking by. Let's get the precise time on that. Right here. And that is at, look at that, 11:45. So we're going to put that on there. 11:45. 45 a.m. on 09/10/2025. There it is. Right there. And then from there, he walks, takes a left, and then right there is 11:48. So just, 3 minutes after that. Makes sense, right? He's walking. 3 minutes later, he's right there at 11:48. And then he walks by this camera. Now, I can actually, you can estimate a little bit. I mean, if we went to this footage, so right after that is going to be the one from TMZ, right there. The original video, the very first video that we got is right there. So we can see him walking right here. See that? He's got the eagle shirt on. He's got the shirt. He's got all that stuff. Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? Chris O'Connell? It's nuts. Oh, yeah, I'm not even done yet. So I'm just going through the whole thing really quick, though. So look, he's walking right there. And then look down here. We've got 11:49 and 32 seconds. Now, I can actually, it plays the whole time. So I can put a clock on there, and we could probably get a very close to the time. From here, we see him walk all the way over, I think, until he, yeah, look at that. So they got him to about right there. And then you probably have to add about 15 seconds, and then he shows up on this camera on the next house over. And when we watch this, somebody the other day goes, how come nobody's ever noticed this before? Look at you guys. He turns onto the grass there, and then he turns around, and it's like, what do you mean? We talked about this the first week of the case. You're just watching the wrong people, you idiot. So look at, he turned onto the grass, and then he went back this way, almost like he was about to change his mind for a second. And he goes, screw it, I'm going. I got to do it. And there he goes, because he knows what he's going to be doing. He does that, and then the very next thing, and then right after that, he goes through the tunnel, goes up these stairs. See that? Through the tunnel, then up the stairs into the parking garage. Then he makes his way onto the roof after going up the, the walkway. And then this is that video where you see him up there. Then he's standing up right there, and, then the shooting happens. He goes off, jumps off, goes across the street, and then eventually runs across behind that same house in the original TMZ video. And you see him kind of show up over here. Now, TMZ is ridiculous. Why didn't they just put out the full video and what it normally looks like instead of just the zoomed in shit with your TMZ logo on the front? I mean, I guess it worked because I just zoomed in on your logo. There he is right here. So here he comes. And there, he spent some time, more than he should have back there. And I actually see him wearing shorts right there, don't you? I see maroon shirt and those shorts, and you can see his socks and his legs and everything. I don't think he's got jeans on right there. So there he goes. He's coming back after changing clothes in the woods. Okay, so what we just saw him is right here, coming this way. And I guarantee you he took a right, and that same camera right here across the street is going to film him in the maroon. So that camera will pick him up at least 3 times. Then he's going to come over here, and then I think he maybe gets in his car right here. And then, this is new information we're about to show again. He drove over to this mall area here. And he's seen on camera. There's a camera, I think, right underneath here. And it picks him up. And that turns out that is him now. Because this is what we just found out today. Listen to this. Listen to this. Could it have been shot a day or more before? No, Jim. Hey, Jim. Hey, JRM. We don't have time for that shit, okay? Can we just focus on what I'm talking about right now? God, jeez, what a joke, man. Jesus Christ, these people. Gray, don't use the name in vain, you bastard. Okay, look at right here. 12:44, we see Robinson's car parked right here for quite a bit of time. You know what he was doing? He actually got his phone out and then on Google Maps searched for how to get to the Quick Quack car wash. All right? And it says the location that he was at on the phone when he did the search was right here in this parking lot. So then he took off and drove to the Quick Quack car wash, which is right here. And he's on camera at 12:57 right there. Isn't that crazy? And then we also know that later on he goes over to Dairy Queen, etc., etc., etc. And then we have other information. He did another search at 1:33 in the morning. At 1:33 in the morning, when he is, he's still in the area on the 11th, right? So this is on the 11th. He's in the area. He's still trying to get his phone. Not his phone, his gun. He gives up finally. He goes, okay, this guy, he's not going to leave. And he was parked right here. This is going to be crazy. This house right here filmed his vehicle parked right there. They have his phone doing a search from here all the way back to his house at 1:33 in the morning on the 11th. So he's like, okay, how do I get back home? And then at 1:35, the car pulls away from here and heads back to his house. And look how close where he parked is from where the wooded area is, okay? All right, you guys, let's see if we can get one more. If somebody can do one more challenge in here, we can say that the night was sort of normal. See if we can do it. Boom, chakalaka. This is crazy stuff. It really is pretty amazing. Oh, look at it. She just said boom, chakalaka. It's amazing. The car parked right there. Now, you want to see what that looks like? Here, watch this. One, bing, bing, bing. I think it's probably this one. Full walking. There it is. Watch this. I'm going to show you exactly where the car parked in person. In fact, that's the house with the camera on it. Oh, God, I look great there. That's the house with the camera on it. And, yeah, I'm walking. It's actually, this is the direct. Let me fix this stupid. You got to get rid of these things or they lock in. Go back over here. Okay, so this is the house that had the camera on it. The video of Tyler Robinson walking is right down the street right here. Whoa! Jesus. What's going on? What happened? Yeah, let me try a different one. Let me open up that one again. Something happened there. Alright. Now we're just walking down the street here. And so we're right now on this straightaway. Oh wait, on this straightaway right here. So when we get to the end of the street, like straight in front of us should be the house. Right down there, I can see it. So we're just almost on the straightaway. But see that house way down there? That's the house that he was parked in front of. The one that had construction going on. And remember how the guy said, the construction worker that was driving the tractor said something like, hey, I saw him, he came by me when I was using my machine. He was probably, because he was right there. And that's probably where he exited too, and I don't think his car was parked right there during that time. Although, you know what? That's actually possible, except that's not the time frame that they said. See, look at, just check it out like this. See, this guy in this house right here, 680, let me put that in there, surveillance. Nobody's into that? Just one more challenge, you guys? Yesterday, or 2 days this week, we had the worst 2 nights in almost like 6 months. Yesterday and 2 days before that. So let's see, we got 680, well, this is it, noticed, Dodge, Challenger, across street, right? Isn't that what it said? Quick quack. Yeah, I think it's in this one. Let me open that up again. Down here. Quick quack. There it is. So it says, I also observed a second Google Maps route that had been stored on Tyler Robinson's device. The Google Maps route had a start time of 7:33, which is which turns out to be 1:33 a.m. on the 11th. The starting point for the route was listed with GPS coordinates. The starting point coordinates with the neighborhood to the north of and in close proximity to the area of the aforementioned rifle was located near UVU campus. The Google Maps route is from the area near UVU campus to, and then it says 3419 South River Road. Investigators had previously conducted a second check and found that Tyler Robinson was residing. Now that's his house all the way down in St. George. Here, what's the street at? 680. Is that in this document? Ah, shit. It's a different document. Oh, it's the one with the parking garage. Okay, it's probably this one. All right, hold on. There it is. Okay, right here it says, according to Special Agent Payton with the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the owner of the home located at 680 West 925 South Orem contacted police and advised that he had captured video on the Nest doorbell camera of a Dodge Challenger parked across the street from his home. Now, I guess that could be right here, but, I mean, it seems more likely it's right there. I guess what we can do is try to figure out where the... because that's the house right there. They weren't just doing landscaping. These guys were they were rebuilding. Yeah, this whole house. This house here is now owned by the university. Here, I'll show you. Look at that. See, this is June 2025. That's just before the shooting. Look how everything's all, dirt and everything like that. So that's it was pretty major league construction. It was all related to, I guess the university purchased it for something. It's some sort of a building. Hey, look at that, you guys. We've got, I'll do a 5 for 5 challenge right here, right now, right here. That's a song, right? Very cool. Wow, look at that. And then Chris O'Connell said she'll do 5 memberships if you guys do 5. Is that like 2 different challenges or just like... Man, that's crazy. Thank you. So is that in conjunction? Like if somebody does the 5 for Phyllis, is that your 5, Chris O'Connell, or you need 5 separate ones? Yeah, thank you. Thanks, Aaron Sayers. All right, you guys, we just need 4 more total to get maybe 15 more channel memberships gifted to people out there and helping support the channel. That would be awesome. Or just even $20 by itself does it, you know. Doesn't search warrant say Robinson was arrested? No, it doesn't. Yeah, there's a reporter out there that's just a total nut job who, you know, didn't look through it and use common sense. So, anybody gonna? Come on, you guys. Let's do this one. This is really important. All right, here's what it was. Okay, do you want to listen to this, JRM, or are you just going to believe the conspiracy nutters? All right, let me tell you. It's at 10:26, the Washington County. That's when Tyler Robinson arrived at the Washington County Sheriff's Office, accompanied by his parents. That's when he got there. So he wasn't really arrested. He was detained, you know. And then at 1 a.m., they brought in Lance Twiggs, and they got that information off of his phone. And then at 1:58, Tyler Robinson was formally arrested by the Utah County Sheriff's Office, and that's on the 12th. Right? And then at 7:58, he's booked into the Utah County Jail. I actually think that this here was in Washington County. But hey, guys, can you guys please gift 4 more memberships so that we can get, you know, the generosity of Phyllis Watson and Chris O'Connell up there, who said that they would help support the channel with a gifted memberships. I guess Wild Bill Wassman went to sleep, so that one's going to be hard. I might have to do it myself. Yeah, I don't know what's going on, man. It's just absolutely been terrible lately. I just, you know, even the challenges are hard. Yeah, at 1:58 a.m., Tyler Robinson was formally arrested. And then at 7:58, he's booked in for, you know, like administratively processed with photographing and fingerprints at 7:58 a.m. in Utah County. And then at 8:14, he's still there. They just marked him down. And then at 6:25 p.m., 10 hours later, that's when he's being interviewed, and he was Mirandized yet again. Hello, you guys. Do you see the challenge up there? It's just wild. It's unreal. Okay, I'll shoehorn in on. Right. So basically, what it is if we get 4 more, it'll match Phyllis and Chris O'Connell's challenge, which is very helpful to the channel. And if you guys could please do that, that'd be great. It's just been, man, so it's just like pulling teeth the whole night. I guess I'll just have to do it. Man, how shitty. It's like losing money. Alright, I'm going to send it in, you guys. Alright, sorry about that. Don't worry about it. I actually don't have a link to it. Somebody sent them to me. So there you go. I had to do it because I could tell nobody was going to do it. So it's just we're already 3 hours and 16 minutes in, and hey, welcome all the new members there. Thank you, Phyllis Watson. And thank you, Chris O'Cuddle. Man, you guys, that's brutal. Yeah, screw you, Gray. Screw you. I'm going to go ahead and send it into Candace Owens, though. Man, she's all on. She's into this stuff, boy. She's really got it nailed down. Yeah. So I think that's pretty amazing. If you send me an email, Aaron, I can send them to you. I had to do 10 of the memberships tonight just to try to get there. I mean, that's sort of like robbing Peter to pay Paul, you know. Yep, they did it. I said that, yep. Thank you, Phyllis Watson and Chris O'Connell. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Very cool. Thank you for your generosity. Appreciate it. Yeah, I think this is exactly how it went. And then he goes over. I mean, just look at it like this. So after he gets back to his vehicle, which is likely parked right over here somewhere, he drives over and he's over here almost exactly right after that. Like literally within 10 minutes, he's over here. And then he goes and quickly gets his car washed for some reason. You know, he must think that he may have left gunshot residue or something. So he brings his car over here and he washes it. And then we know that eventually he was over at Dairy Queen, but I think he just spent the rest of his time trying to figure out how to get that gun back. And then eventually he parks in this area at 1247, probably just maybe one last gasp. He thought, you know, maybe this time if I park close, I can quickly grab it. I can get back to my car and get out of there. You know, and then it just wasn't happening. He couldn't do it. And then at 1:35 in the morning, he drove all the way back home. And it's about a 3 hour and something minute drive. So he may have stopped somewhere on the way. Maybe that's where he threw some of his clothing, you know, that he may have had. I mean, we don't know. And so there you go. Anyways, thank you guys for, you know, getting us to the goal, you know, and being able to, man, it's just, I mean, just to let you guys know, like we normally, this is, a night like tonight is sort of normal, but without as much effort, you know, and then, but like 2 nights ago, I did a show where the whole show brought in $27. Like, I know that you go like, great, it really, I mean, that is devastating to the momentum. So you're talking about a $27, and then we did a day where I donated $500. So that day we did okay, you know. But you know, then I'm out $500, which is $750 you have to bring in to make $500. I mean, so you know, so that was a decent day. The next day, I think we brought in 60, which is just like, again, so that means you're down $400 in a 2-day period, and that's where it gets really. You know, it's tough because then you're way behind for the month. But tonight was pretty good, so you know, maybe, but except I had to do, you know, 2 of the challenges myself, which is, you know, again, it's ridiculous. I don't know, but anyways, thank you guys for doing that. Just letting you know what the what the deal is. I know it's a little hard right now because it's April 15th, the tax day. But I think a lot of people are going to get back taxes. You know, there's a few different things. I forgot what it was called, but this one deduction thing that really has this way bigger number. So I think most people should be getting, as long as you're, probably if you're like on a 1040 easy, you might not get a ton back, but you don't pay any taxes anyways. Yeah, that was pretty good, right? You want to send me an email, Aaron? You got my email? Oh, you did? Okay. Here, let me give you my email, and I'll send you those. I don't have a link to the... there's my email, though. I was going to do this whole cold case, but now this thing took too long. Man, that just got me. I was so excited. Man, it's crazy. So that means he drove his car into the same parking garage. I'm assuming that's really the only... that's it, right? That's the parking garage. And it was the address they gave pointed to right here. So I would assume that he drove into the same parking garage. And then you sort of wonder if he went down and checked out the tunnel and everything. Down here. And that was it, So I think at 10:12, the maroon shirt guy is going to be going back through there. Which is him, Tyler Robinson. We got trolls in late, huh? Yeah. Let's see. Those low numbers are... I know. Well, those 2 days were deflating for sure. Yeah, just really like, Jesus, Especially when everything was normal. Like right up until those 2 days, we were just having normal, not the greatest month, but not terrible. And then just boom, out of nowhere for no reason. Just, I guess that's the unpredictable nature of... Hey, by the way, you guys, check it out. My Blazers, they won. That was so amazing. You guys, like here's how the season's been so crazy with the Blazers. See, I predicted they'd win 46 games because we've got as much talent as anybody else. Everybody, the officials, the experts all go, oh, no, they suck. They might win 25, 30 games. And they're just idiots, literally. So anyways... They won 42 games. I predicted 46, but they should have won 46 with their eyes closed. They won 0 games this year that they didn't deserve to win. Those games that you just steal from the other team, like you're down 10 with 2 minutes to go and you miraculously make... We didn't win any of those, but we lost like 10 of those. We lost a game we were up 18 with 4 minutes to go and lost. It was like the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. You'd almost could just sit there, let the clock run out, and you'd win on each possession. Don't even shoot. Just hold the ball, turn over, okay, get the ball, But we lost those. Anyways, then we made it to the play-in games. So we made it to 8th place by beating the Clippers twice in the last week or so. And then we tied them season-wise, but we beat them with conference play, so we got into the 8th position. If you're 8th, then 7 plays 8, but the 7th team is the home team. And I said to my friend, we're going to beat Phoenix in this game. And then 9-10 play each other. The winner of 9-10 plays the loser of 7-8. And that team makes it. But we played Phoenix in Phoenix last night. We started off the game. We were down by like 7 points. And then we started doing really well. And then we ended the quarter down 1, like 33-31 or something, or 2 points. Then the second quarter, we were up by 15 at some point. And they cut it all the way to 3, I believe, at the buzzer because their guy hit a 4-point play. And then I was like, oh, shit, here we go. Then we get to the third quarter, and then we got up by 10 or so again. And then we went on a 15-minute stretch where we scored almost no, I mean, just the ludicrously shitty points. So then we got down by 11 points with 6 minutes to go in the game. And then Denny Advia and a couple of guys just started hitting shots. I mean, it was just the craziest thing in the world. And we beat them right at the end. That was a game that you could say that, I mean, we deserved to win, too, because we were ahead most of the game. But, you know, so they won. So we ended up being in the 7th position in the playoff brackets. So we're actually in 7th place, and we made the playoffs. And so now what's happening is, who won the game tonight, by the way, with the Golden State Warrior? Stress balls, and she is using them as she watches TV. Oh, cool. Well, let me know if she needs any more of those. Chris O'Connell. You need some more? Yeah, let's go check. Let me go check that out really quick. Who won that game? ESPN. Oh, looks like the Warriors beat the Clippers. Of course they did. That's exactly why I wanted to beat Phoenix. Because if we'd lost to Phoenix, we'd have to play the Warriors. And who the hell knows what the Warriors... That means the Warriors beat the Clippers in Los Angeles, which isn't easy to do. And so that means we would have had to play them at home. And Steph Curry, I mean, shit, that guy, he could do anything at any time. And it looks like they beat him there. So now the Clippers are completely out of the playoffs. And now the Warriors are going to be playing Phoenix in Phoenix to be the 8th position. And man, Phoenix is probably just going, oh, here we go. But anyways, we play the San Antonio Spurs with Victor Wembanyama. And, you know, a 7-game series, we'll see what happens. I always predict we're going to win, no matter what. So, anyways, you guys still here? Jesus. I've never seen such an unlively chat. You know, it's just it's so disappointing. All right. Anyways, I'm going to get going, you guys. Appreciate it. Let's see. I guess I can't say... I can't tell people what you told me, Phyllis, can I? Not yet. I hope she uses them enough to wear off. Freak text. All right. Yeah, it's cool. All right, very cool. Anyways, thanks up there to Richard Watts, Wild Bill Wassman. Oh, I can say it? I can say it? Oh, yeah, she's writing a book, you guys. Or she's written a book. Editing it, I think, now, right? Is that right? It's actually a true, well, not a true crime, but a crime book. Like, I guess she could type in what it was. I've been refreshing all night. I think it was something about... You told me briefly what the synopsis was, but I don't want to get it wrong. You can tell that she can write, right? Because the way she writes in the chat, it's pretty funny. So there you go, Phyllis Watson. And definitely when you get it done, you're going to have to come in and explain it. I guess you don't want to give away everything. It's about a female serial killer. Fiction. There you go. Is it one of those books where you like the serial killer, or do we not like the serial? You know, like Dexter, you know? Do we end up having some positive vibes for the killer in this one? There's a couple shows like that. What's that one called? Like You? You ever watch that one? That was on, I can't remember what channel it was on, but we like her. Oh God, here we go. Hey, it's not a a self-reflection book, is it, Phyllis? Like one that you're sort of, you want to tell what you've done, but you're going to do it through fiction. Yeah, I liked you, especially the first couple seasons. I got kind of dumb at the end. It kind of ended stupidly, I thought. That's her biography. That's funny. Is there ducks in it? Yeah, just throwing a duck on a page that's meaningless. And you know what her name is? It's Phil. It's Phil S. Like the middle name is S. Phil S. Let's see. Now let's see. It'll be not Phil. I guess it's not Phil. It'll be Shirley Holmes. Get it? Like her last name is Watson. Okay. You get it? So Shirley Holmes is the serial killer. Kind of an homage to her last name, Watson, right? And yeah. Yeah, it did kind of suck. It's just sort of like, we got to end this series. Let's go ahead and call it a day. Anyways, thanks Richard Watts, Wild Bill Wassman. I think Wild Bill gets disappointed. Like he's helping a lot, and then a lot of people just aren't. So, and I see it. It's like he's like, hey, and it gets really frustrating. And then we got Alley Kick, and then we got Wild Bill Wassman, and then Tracy Von Brott. Then Jim Lawn said Tracy and Allie on the jokes. Oh, that's right. There were jokes. They were pretty good. Alley Cake for Marty's challenge. Then we had Wild Bill Wassman, Alley Cake. Hey, JRM, you're delusional, dude. We've already just explained it to you, man. You're delusional. At 10:26, listen to this. At 8:02, a guy named Mike Mitchell called Sheriff Brooksby and said, "Hey, man, I know who did it." Then 8:04, Sheriff Brooksby calls Sheriff Smith in Utah County. Then at 8:57, that's when Tyler Robinson typed in, "Hey guys," could even have been at 7:57. Doesn't really matter. It's before. Says, "Hey guys, I have some bad news. Thanks for all the good times. That's it, right? Then at 10:26, after the sheriff came and got him, Tyler Robinson arrived at the Washington County Sheriff's Office, where he was he's just sort of being held there, right? Now he might say arrested, but it's not an official arrest. And then at 1 a.m., FBI Special Agent interviews Twiggs. Then at 1:58, I got the damn thing on my face. Then at 1:58, Tyler Robinson was formally arrested by Utah County Sheriff while in custody in Washington County. All right, clown, we've just gone over it for the 98th time. I'm sorry for your abject confusion. All right, anyways, we got Jim Lawn, Alley Cake, Wild Bill Wassman, Alley Cake again, then Steve and Connerly, Tony Morrow, Wild Bill Wassman, and then Alley Cake, Tracy Von Brott, Sandy Shirley, Scotta Flight gifted one, then Carol Silva gifted one, then Wild Bill Wassman gifted another one, Jim Lawn, Carol Silva, Kimmy, Wild Bill Wassman. That was at 8:31 there. Then Carol Silva at 8:42, so 11 minutes later. Then Aaron gifted 5. Then Aaron, that's when Aaron showed up, and then gifted 10, or did $10. And then Alley Cake, and then Wild Bill Wassman at 8:55. Aaron Sayers at 8:55. Carol Silva gifted one. Then like Long Travel, I think it was, gifted one. Then Lisa Valenzuela. Then Aaron Sayers did 5 more. I think he was doing he did a challenge there, but only 3 people. He did a 5 for 5, you guys, and only 3 people did it. So he just said, "Oh, here's, he gifted the 5 anyway." And then that's what I was saying. That's why I had to jump in with my 5 because it wasn't going to be met. And then we had Phyllis Watson jumped in there right after Chris O'Connell. And then Chris O'Connell gifted 5 more. And then I gifted 5 because I think you reached just that initial challenge that I did. And then Aaron Sayers gifted one. This is on the other challenge. And only one person matched Chris O'Connell and Phyllis Watson's. So I gifted another 5 to reach theirs. And then Phyllis gifted 5. And then Chris O'Connell gifted 10. That's like, I had to rob Peter to pay Paul right out of my own money just to try to get to the goals, Pretty sad. But other than that, it was pretty cool. Let's see, what are you guys saying? She is a vigilante of those who are evil. Yeah, well, that's Dexter, right? Might be some of that in there. What is she a serial killer of? What is her MO, Phyllis? You should be able to say that, right? What is her MO in the book? The serial killer. Any idea? Man, we also have like a 30-minute delay. Hello? Man, it's like these, I don't know. Yeah, that was cool new stuff. Yeah, we see the Washington County. That's just a general time frame. What time is that? Yeah, probably around 10. I mean, when is anything really at 10 a.m.? Hey, Phyllis, what's the... oh, she just gets pissed off and takes them out. So she just kills people that piss her off? Jesus. Man, that's a crazy serial killer. I guess they're always crazy, though, aren't they? All right, you guys. Thank you all so much for being here. Special thanks to Wild Bill Wassman, Aaron, Phyllis Watson, Chris O'Connell, and we had Jim Lawn in there. And everybody that helped support the channel, but I'm giving special thanks to the ones that went above and beyond and got us to the goals. All right. So thanks, everybody. We will see you tomorrow. And who knows what tomorrow will bring. They're all like Jodi Arias, aren't they? There she is. Look at that. I just didn't like what he said. All right, Phyllis. Keep us posted. We're gonna try to sell that on here. Thank you for watching Grant Hughes Investigates on YouTube, where we cover true crime using logic, reason, and common sense. Thank you all very much for watching. And until next time, be safe out there. Oh, and also not forget Marty's Bar and Grill, who did a challenge earlier in the show. And he sent in coffees. So that's cool. And then, and put out those prayers and positive vibes. He's got a surgery in the morning. All right. So everybody put out vibes for Marty's Bar and Grill. All right. I'll check in with him tomorrow. But thanks, everybody. We'll see you guys later. And until next time, be safe out there.
Evil can never be dead enough.